going to be a little bit different, guys. We are trying a new streaming service. We're using a streaming app instead of just streaming through YouTube. I don't know what will make it easy for you guys to scoot over. Maybe you're half out of the frame.
This is where you put my chair.
Well, I hadn't had a chance to get things set up because we were running so late. But here we are. And there she goes. But yeah, I'm hoping that this will make it a little bit easier. We can read the comments better. I can do a pop-out chat and throw it over on my other... sounds like an echo. That's not great. Well, I can't drag this for some reason, which is weird. Yeah, we're going to be playing around with this and fighting with it probably a little bit. I had wanted to turn off I'm trying to turn off the microphone on my webcam and just run it off of here, but that's not working. So, and I also wanted to make myself not look white like a ghost, and that didn't work. So we're still working out the kinks, obviously. I don't know why I can't open the settings menu. And now I've got nothing. Okay.
Because that light is literally 3 feet from your face.
So this is exactly why I wanted to start an hour or so ago to get this all set up, because we needed to get this thing tuned, and we didn't do it. So, whatever. We'll make it work. This was a big mistake in my whiskey recording career, but today I'm talking about mistakes in my whiskey collecting career. How's that for a transition?
Trevor, I think I have a couple things going for me as far as me looking good. Number one, I put makeup on knowing the lights were going to be on. Number two, I'm darker complected. Number three, Nate said sounding like T-Pain.
I literally can't change any settings on my streaming service. Just can't change them. So,
Can you hear us?
if you can't hear us, that's too bad. I need all of the drinks right now.
Well, he has 5 of them in front of him.
5 little cheeky half-ounce pours.
I don't know if you can hear us, though.
Very soft. Well, I can't change any settings, so maybe I'll just speak louder.
I can't be in a room with you with that. Is that better? It looks like every time we talk, we peak the levels, though. Hello?
Now, does that get rid of the echo? That might have gotten rid of the echo. This shouldn't work with passive audio, but for some reason it is. I just watched it die in real time. Okay. Well.
Is the echo still there? No echo, still there.
Echo is still there.
Oh. Sound, but it echoes. Can we just not do
So the only thing I can do is either just straight up restart and try again, or we can just move on the stream. I can't change any of the settings on my streaming service, and my microphone is apparently either no audio or echoing audio. Those are my two options, guys. So that's where we're gonna be.
Well, but the delayed response was a little, but it sounds fine. So I guess we've gotten the echo away enough that just keep it. You're gonna sound like T-Pain this whole stream.
And I wish I understood why I can't change any settings. That is the most infuriating part of all this. Oh wait, now if I do that, do we still have echo? That should have killed the echo. I think I legit killed it this time. Let me know in the comments. Holy crap, guys. Well, we got it going. All right. Hey, I figured it out. Congrats to me. Oh. Hi, everyone. I'm the drink pro. Apparently, I'm not the microphone pro. But we got it going. Yeah, we are doing it live. No joke, Big One. Holy crap, man.
That wasn't the plan, but plans in this household never go according to themselves.
No, they often do not. That's very true.
I don't think ever. I can't think of one plan
that actually is going the way it's supposed to.
Now turn it up a little bit.
This is good. We're honing it in live.
This is some good stream content. Is that better,
all right,
Nate?
How about that? It's still showing us at -15, which doesn't make any sense.
Well, you're a lot louder than I am, but that shows I'm peaking.
Now, no, see, zero's right here. I don't know why it wants to keep us in -10.
Beautiful.
Beautiful,
all
great.
Right.
Hey, everybody. I am white like a ghost.
Honey, you're just going to have to live with it. That is your real life.
Now Nate says real loud. The delay on this thing is not helpful.
No, I told you there was like a 30-second delay.
Yes, I am well aware, babe.
Good listening with a headset and a bell with my eardrums. Oh, no.
I give up. I give up.
Is this a good volume for everyone? We'll just stop.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty sassy. If you can hear me at this volume, turn your volume up louder on your headset. If at 100% you still can't hear me, then let me know and I will wait 30 seconds to change anything. That's how we're going to do it.
Go to that -15 you talked about.
See, as soon as somebody in the fucking chat says, it's all good, things are going great, then somebody else says, oh, it's too low, oh, it's too high. Y'all need to make up your collective minds in the chat.
It's because of the delay.
Oh.
They're responding to what we're saying 30 seconds after we've said it. It's at 100%. It's not very loud. Still good. I'm at 100 on my volume. Oh.
All right. So I've turned it up now. I'm looking at my monitors and it's showing me at like -20. If I go to now that puts me between 20 and 15. At this speaking volume, I'm usually around 20.
It's good.
I feel like that's a good place. We'll see. Thank you all for being patient with me. We are experiencing growing pains, obviously. But we will get there. What's up, Jim Helvey? I haven't even saying hi to everyone in the chat. We got Bourbon Baller. What's up? We got Big Wen. I love that. Love the name. Joe Brown's in the chat. What up, Joe? I love seeing my patrons out here. Nate, Joe, Trev.
Now drink.
Now drink. Shit, man. I need it now. Holy crap. Well, we'll get into the drinks here in a second, but
I will not be partaking.
Yeah, Yolanda's taking a dry week. But so this whole thing is about stories, or supposed to be at least about stories, of things I've done wrong in my bourbon history.
The beginning of this stream is one of them.
Yeah. Patience comes with the booze. Big win. I appreciate that. Yeah. I really wish I could move that live chat, but I can't see it with the reflection. Oh, well.
Well, I can't see our video because of the mic.
Things are going great, guys.
Because I'm small.
Things are going great. Well, that's okay. We don't really need to see ourselves that much.
I mean, I like to know that I'm looking okay.
You look great, baby. You even got a compliment already. Bourbon Baller loves the new setup. Cheers, man. It has been a bit of a journey to get it working. We would still only probably call it working in quotes, but it's progress. It's progress.
I'm currently using a trash can as a table.
We've got a table right there.
Yes, and I can't reach it.
Well, I'd have to reach up to get things. Yes, like that.
You just want all...
Don't spill the bubble water all over the computer, please.
You just want to look at my ass every time I have to lean to get a drink.
Obviously. That's obviously why I did it. Ooh, this is nutty. I like the smell on this. So, I've got a blind flight here. Yolanda poured 5 different pours, and each of these pours is in a different glass. This one is from the North Carolina Bourbon Crew. It won't focus on the close-up because it stays focused on my face, so maybe like that. There you
Cover
go.
it with the back of it with your hand. There you go.
It doesn't matter that much. But each of these glasses has a different label on it.
He's got the answers.
And she's got the answer key in the Old Forester notebook. So 5 blind whiskeys randomly from my collection. They could be anything. Opened the floodgates and said, Yolanda, pick me 5 whiskeys. I don't know what she's poured, so we'll see how it goes. Bruce says he's drinking Kings County bourbon. I've heard nothing but good things. I haven't had much Kings County, though.
I wanted to put something in there from the Halloween bucket, but I couldn't find it. So he has hidden the Halloween bucket away from me. But now that I think about it, I kind of think it must be in storage in the room that's next to you.
Yeah, it is.
And I didn't think about that until just now.
That is where it is, actually.
Well, I know for next time.
Yeah.
To ruin your night.
Yeah, I think I'd figure it out pretty quick and have no interest in continuing drinking whatever it was.
Depends what it is. There's some good ones in there. Unless you've had all of them.
There are a couple of ones in there that aren't terrible. That's true. If I do this, I can probably get the stream analytics too. At least concurrent views and chat rate. That's what I care about. There we go.
Interesting.
Mike's got the double-double. Hell yeah, Mike.
I almost poured the double-double.
Rick is sipping on Yellowstone. They actually just released another batch of the double-double. You should have seen the lines outside of Woodford. They were literally like 300 or 400 people long around the distillery.
We were talking about this last week.
Were we?
With Miranda and...
Oh, yeah, that it was coming out, but it has now released.
Oh.
And
must have been talking about a different release where it was like several hours long and everyone was like, I would never...
Yeah, that was another one. That was, what was that? I feel like that might have been the opening of a Total Wine or something. Something opened up.
Bourbon Baller says trying to decide what to drink almost killed a bottle of Baccarat
Baccarat.
Oh, that's how that's spelled?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I think that he might have thrown an extra C in there, but man, almost killed a Baccarat. That is... Bourbon Baller, don't kill that Baccarat. Send me a pour of that Baccarat. Woodford Baccarat is like a very expensive...
He didn't say Woodford Baccarat.
I don't know of any other Baccarats. Rick Hudson's, what up, Rick? Dick in the dirt, drinking the Yellowstone. Actually, Yellowstone's solid stuff. I'm a big fan of Yellowstone. I had the heartbreaking moment of breaking an entire bottle of Yellowstone on my carpeted floor in here in my studio. And it was a store pick, too. It was just a heartbreaking moment. But
it was in the middle of the workday, too.
Yeah, my whole office smelled like whiskey for like weeks. Rick, I love that. Most fertile tater field this side of Boise. If he's talking about the Woodford, he ain't wrong. Oh, man. And I don't think Mike had to wait in line. Yeah, he just said scored 3 bottles right in town, 57. It's good when you have developed relationships with your booze mongers. Yeah, Mike knows what's up. Mike knows what's up. Actually, Mike has a blind flight for me that I'll be doing on the stream pretty soon. I got to go pick it up, though. He's got, I think it's a rye blind, which will be a fun time, but we got to get down to Kentucky and pick it up from his... from a relative of his. Yeah, $20.75 a bottle. It really is too expensive. That's awful lot.
No mellow corn.
For any. I don't care how special, rare, or delicious the Woodford product is. That's a lot of money for one. I think part of the expense with the Baccarat though is it had that nice crystal decanter. Crystal. The crystal decanter really jacks the price up. Oh, I forgot. Big Wen drinking the Henry McKenna single barrel bottled or small batch bottled in bond. It's single barrel. It's single barrel. I always mix it up SB because it could be small batch or single barrel. And so I've started doing SB for small batch and S with a little I and a B for single barrel. Yeah, big win. Smash the thumbs up. I appreciate it, brother. Okay. Patrick Mahomes. Sounded like Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, I've got 5 different samples from my random collection.
That must have been when you were talking about Crystal.
Mm-hmm. I've got 5 different samples from my collection. Yolanda picked them. I have no idea what they are, but she's got the answer key. Let's talk about some mistakes, guys. Let's talk about mistakes. I think the one I want to really hit on first and foremost is just sort of the most obvious one. You know, it's people dive into this hobby with the enthusiasm, and for obvious reasons. There's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of cool things being done in whiskey right now. If you've been around whiskey for a while, you know, there are some people that are kind of like, I remember the good old days, but typically people are excited to be in whiskey today because there's so much craft stuff being made, there's so much attention being paid towards it, you're getting new and different products that would otherwise never be made. But part of that means you have to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff. You have to know good products, you have to understand what you like, and you have to be able to discern, you know, your own palate against the palates of others, be them whiskey tubers, be them reviewers, be them friends who suggest things to you. I know that Nate and I or Trevor and I don't have the exact same palate. We might like certain things or similar things, but if I find something that's a little too oaky for me, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with it, I bet Trevor's going to like it. And that's the kind of familiarity that only comes with experience. So my number one mistake is going to be buying things that I didn't like because I didn't try them first. If you at all have the ability to try something before you buy it, you should do it. And if you're not going to try something before you buy it, you better have a specific reason. So, for example, you're not going to be able to try the Woodford Baccarat. You're just not going to. That's not something you're going to be able to try before you buy it because no one has it. But if you know you like Woodford products, if you know you like finished products, I believe it's a Pedro Jimenez finish, then you can take that information and sort of cull together, you know, an idea of whether or not you would like it. With more experience, you can compare your palate to people who are in the whiskey tube world. And because some of them have been able to review Baccarat. Not a lot, but some of them have. And if you look at what they say about it, and you're like, my palate usually aligns with this guy, he likes it, that means I'll probably like it, then you can make an informed decision. For me, making an informed decision is the most important part of that whiskey purchasing process. Because you know, it doesn't matter if you have 10 whiskeys or 1,000 whiskeys in your collection. You got to know what you want before you can actually buy what you want.
Nate says people in this community are generous. Setting up sample exchanges is so helpful. And Mark G says, sup fuckers.
What's up, Mark? How you doing, buddy? Oh, man. Bourbon Baller, smash that shit. Thank you, brother. The mini goat. the mini goat from my home. Oh, man. Rick says...
He sounds like...
Bald hipster Willie Robertson. Oh, boy. You guys crack me up, man. You guys crack me up. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, we kind of had a similar experience with you with vodka. Because we didn't know anything about a couple of different vodkas we bought, and you just really didn't care for them.
Yeah, but I would say it's less so because the barrier to entry for vodka is a lot lower.
Yeah, typically.
And just from what we've heard, you know, around from anyone who's ever had it, things like Crystal Skull vodka aren't worth the price.
Right.
Then there's other ones that are like very niche, organic, very expensive vodka, and we were fortunate to have a tasting in a store, and it was garbage. It tasted like a Smirnoff, and like no one wants to pay $80 for a bottle of vodka.
But it's organic though.
That tastes like Smirnoff.
It was bad. It was bad. But I think that's yeah, it exists in almost any spirit, you know, but getting the opportunity to find a place to taste things, I think, is so critical. And when you're first getting started in bourbon, I think this kind of ties to my second point, which I will get to after I do a tasting on one of these pours at the very least. when you get around the hype machine, there are so many things that you want, not because you want them, but because you're told you want them. And figuring out what you actually want is really important.
It's the same thing in the plant world.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, there are plants that get hyped up. Of anything that's collectible. Records, the same way. People get crazy hyped about certain bands or certain records. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to get it. Don't feel pressure for the community. There are people who think Rock Hill Farms is garbage. Then don't buy Rock Hill Farms. Somebody else will.
Bourbon Baller says 2004 GTS is my pour for the night.
Man, Bourbon Baller's hitting some good stuff. Heck yeah, man.
And Mark says, got a vodka recommendation for you guys to try.
Awesome.
We are more than interested.
Well, I think Joe has repeatedly pushed us on the, what was it called? The 10,000 hours? 10,000 seas? 10,000 leagues under the sea?
I don't know. It makes me always think of the, 100 grand bar.
That's what it was. It was 100 grand. That's right.
Well, I associated it with candy.
Well, yeah, the 100 grand. We got to get ourselves some of that, but Mark's going to have to hook us up with a vodka rec. Yeah, the FOMO is real, and that will definitely be part of the second lineup. But let me taste something first. We've been John
20
for
grand.
20 grand. We'll get there.
I was a lot closer than
Joe.
Kyle was.
I haven't seen it anywhere, Joe. I'm sorry. I've actually looked for it, but I cannot keep my brain wrapped around it.
I was a lot closer than Kyle was. Just remember the candy bar.
Well, but I know what it looks like. I couldn't remember the name, but I remember seeing the bottle because Joe and I had a conversation, and he either sent me it or I Googled it, a photo of the bottle, and that's pretty distinctive. You'll pick it up off the shelf and know it. But
Mark says the vodka that he wants to recommend is from a recommendation from the head bartender from the Greenbrier, and it's cheap.
Double Cross from Slovakia.
$35. That's not bad.
I can't get over how ghostly I look.
That
on this.
is actually on the higher end for vodka. Like, it seems silly compared to the world of bourbon, but once you hit past like a $25 mark, that's considered kind of expensive vodka.
This is gonna make me sneeze. This must be high proof.
Trevor says, I say this every week when talking about vodka. Vodka sucks unless it's used for hand sanitizer. Ha 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 ha. Good old Fred.
I love the way you read the laugh. Ha 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 ha.
I'm glad
I'm
even
gonna
in
start,
my extremely sober state
I'm
I
gonna
make
start
you laugh.
laughing like that. Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha. It's good in an Old Bay Bloody. I love Bloody Marys.
Oh man, I'm not a Bloody Mary person.
You don't like tomatoes though.
I don't like drinking my tomatoes.
Killing this Gatorade.
Yeah. This is a really nice light.
You ever gonna try it?
Well, I don't only have half an ounce, so I got to make the most of it. I really can't figure out what it is on the nose, though. At first, I get this really deep nuttiness, but now it's kind of like caramel corn. Ryes make me sneeze, Bourbon Baller says. Yeah, I've had that with ryes before too. Actually, I think it's the spiciness.
Mark G says, "What you drinking?" He doesn't know.
So, Mark, I'll catch other people up, too. We've got 14 people on the stream right now. That some of those weren't here before. So I got 5 pours. Yolanda poured them out. Each one has a different label. This is... Sorry, I touched the mic. I know it makes noise. This is the North Carolina Bourbon Crew glass.
If you want them to see.
But I've got 5 different glasses. Each one is a different product. I don't know what they are. Yolanda does. She's got the master key. I guess I'll try to guess what they are, maybe, question mark, but I don't expect great things, even though it's my own collection.
I feel like that would be hard for you, just because you have so many bottles in so many different places, and they're kind of all over the place as far as profile goes.
Yeah. But this one is, I get a little bit of lemon meat.
Lemon meat.
Yeah, like not the zest, but the meat of the lemon fruit. That's what it's
like
called, the flesh.
The pith?
The flesh.
Is it the white part?
No, it's the meat. It's the flesh. It's the
segments?
The part that you eat, or that you would squeeze the juice out of.
The segments.
That's called the meat.
The wedges.
It's the meat. God. Okay. So lemon meat. It's got like almond extract.
Rick says caramel corn nose must be mellow corn.
Pulp. Bruce says the flesh. See, Bruce knows what's up.
Yeah, but you said
Thank you, Bruce.
lemon meat way before you said flesh. Lemon flesh is far better than lemon meat.
Holy Kyle calls it meat. Oh boy, it's gonna be a night, guys.
I must have had a "that's what she said" moment because Mark said "ha ha ha," that's what she said, and you just spilled bourbon on you.
No, I don't have enough to go around. It's no longer vegan. Yeah, I don't think so. All right. Yeah, almond extract, lemon meat.
So it's a vegan dish.
I get like a little bit of like baker's chocolate.
Oh, so it's a vegan dessert.
Hint of rye. Yeah, like a tort. All right, let's taste this. Mmm. That back's kick. It's definitely high proof.
I need to start looking at the proofs on things before I line them up because I don't. There needs to be way more rhyme and reason to the way that I approach these, and there isn't.
I mean, the chaos is kind of fun. As people know, I love the chaos in these streams. But I think what would be good for you to write down is like the years, how old it is, if it's age stated. If it doesn't have one, then just NAS. And then the proof, so that I can know how old it is, what the proof is.
Why give you hints?
No, just to see if I can guess it. Because then I'm like, well, I don't know where it's from, but I might be able to guess the age or something.
This is why I argued for having the bottles in front of us, but I didn't realize that we weren't going to have a table to put said bottles on. Mike Halliday says, I think lemon meat was what Robert Plant was singing about. You'll have to be an old fuck to get that one.
Yeah, I don't. I know Robert Plant, but I don't get that reference, unfortunately. I was never a big Robert Plant fan, unfortunately.
And then Bourbon Baller's responding to Nate.
Yeah, we'll let him duke it out in the chat.
Rich says chocolate lemon rye bread.
Yeah, kinda.
Does that mean you know what it is, Rich?
Wait a minute.
What?
Yeah, for a second I saw Rich and I thought Rick. I was getting confused. I'm like, okay.
No, just recalling Kyle's notes for the reveal.
That's really important. I'm thankful you're doing that, Rich, because I'm not going to be able to keep track of them, and I'm not writing them down. So
are we?
I'm glad somebody's paying attention.
At one after.
No, I'm going to try to drink half of the pour and then come back to it. And
you drank more than half.
Well,
of the pour.
Listen, these are tiny ass pours. I'm doing the best I can. So the second bourbon mistake. Buying tater bottles. Who doesn't love to tater hard over something? Blanton's, anyone? Blanton's is fine. I like Blanton's. No, we're not going to reveal them one in a row. I can go through all of them and just keep giving you notes. But I'll be more aggressive about getting through these pours, but we're not going to freaking... We're not gonna see what oxidizes the most when you go back through. Yeah, we've all tatered hard at one point or another. I'm just gonna keep going with this. Forget about you, Nate. I've bought some. I paid too much money on secondary for my last horsey letter, so now I've got all the horsey letters with Blanton's. I know people that have tatered hard to get the Weller single barrel, so they can have the Weller rainbow. There's nothing inherently wrong with doing that, but if you're new to bourbon or you're new to collecting, that's a ridiculous way to approach it. That's something to do if you know you love a product. If I know I just love Weller and everything that Weller comes out is just my jam, then okay. Then it makes more sense. It's still pretty tatery, but being tatery is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's just... we all do it at some point or another. Just recognize you're doing it. Be aware of what you're doing.
Is tatering?
So, being a tater is basically like buying into the hype in one way or another in bourbon. So like taters are people that are going to buy, every new release, every limited release that comes out of Buffalo Trace just because it's a limited release, not because they know they like it, not because they know they want it.
Why are you being called a potato?
Now that I don't know. I don't know the etymology of tater, but that's called tater. Yes, Nate. Being tatery is buying stickers and wax. Another great example. If you don't care for Wild Turkey products, don't buy a bunch of Russell's Reserves that have fancy wax on them for $300. What the hell are you doing?
On to glass number 2.
Yeah, let's move to glass number 2.
I think you've made your point.
I've made my point. Now, I like the smell of this one a lot better. I think along with tatering, like one of the things that I've done is when I go to a liquor store in the past, reselling's a big problem too, Mark. When I've gone to a liquor store in the past, I would buy any allocated item I saw. If it was an allocated item I'd never had before, if I'd never tried, I would jump on it. Bruce, exactly right. Paying outrageous prices for mediocre bourbon. And I think some of that comes from ignorance. When you don't know what you're going for, you don't know what you like, it's an allocated product, so you're going to buy it. And, that's that. You're just like, allocated equals me buying it. Get it for retail equals me buying it. It took me a while to figure that out.
Nate says, I will say, I wouldn't mind tatering to find a Blanton's that was dumped on my son.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool thing. You shouldn't feel bad about tatering hard and doing that because you understand what the product is.
Bourbon Baller says, resellers are assholes. I don't sell bottles to them at my store.
There you go.
Apparently, Bourbon
I
Baller
didn't know Bourbon Baller owns a store. But now I understand why Bourbon Baller is drinking Baccarat.
It's also why he's the Bourbon Baller.
Yeah, for real, man, for real. Cheers to you, sir. This thing has a beautiful, this is vanilla bean, which I really like.
Fruit punch.
Yeah, you like your Gatorade there?
It's got this really fruit punchy note. Nate says Bourbon Baller, let's be friends.
Nate's always hustling. At some point in the future, I'll figure out how to get comments up on the screen. Like, I know other people are doing that in the streams. And I'm sure this particular software has that capability, but I have no idea how to do it. So, we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, they're warning Bourbon Baller.
Yeah. Mark, shut the hell up. Oh, we'll just let that stay.
Yeah, we'll just let that stew in the chat while I give you some tasting notes.
Please be better than lemon meat.
I mean, this one is like, this is like eating vanilla cake on a boat on a lake in the spring. It's got really like not seaside, it's not saltwater, but like fresh water vibes, and then like there's flowers nearby.
What kind of pretentious ass run-on sentence is this?
It smells really good, but it transports me to like I'm in a canoe and you're rowing me somewhere.
In what world am I the one rowing the boat? You're twice the size of me.
But I'm enjoying. Then it's not you. Then it's some like worker so I don't have to work. The point is I'm not working hard. I'm being leisurely, but it's quiet, and the boat is moving.
So you're on a gondola ride in the middle of a field.
I'm on a gondola ride in spring.
In a field.
There's no field.
You said something about a field.
There's flowers. It's not a field. It's just flowers.
Last week he was in a barn. This week he's rowing down a river.
Ooh, and we've hit a blueberry field. Blueberry patch.
It's now a blueberry field.
The blueberries are showing up. That's one of my favorite notes. I love blueberry. I haven't pulled geranium off this yet. It's a lighter, brighter flower. Like, what's a fragrant flower?
flower?
Fragrant flower.
Roses are fragrant?
No, it's not rose. Think like lighter.
Lilac?
Yeah, it could be lilac.
Lavender?
This is really sweet and light, but it's floral.
Crack blue spot.
Yes, crack the blue spot. All right, let's give this a nip.
Wow, your nip is like most of the pour.
That's what I'm saying. Half-ounce pours suck.
You're the one that wanted 5 of them.
May have to just do full ounces and spit next time.
Dead air.
Oh, it smells so good. I don't have a problem with dead air. You got to understand, like, if you listen to like radio shows, professional radio shows, sometimes they'll have dead air for 5 or 6 seconds. It's a tactic. Because I can't stop talking. So when I stop, it makes it very long. I know you know. I know you live with me. But what I'm saying is when you pause and it's pregnant, it can be really powerful.
Apparently I said another that's what she said moment. Bourbon Baller says, is Yolanda a tequila fan? Would you like to answer the question?
I've seen you drink tequila. Mezcal. I don't know if I've seen you drink tequila.
I'll drink tequila. I'm not opposed to a tequila moment, but it's not ever my go-to.
You're not a drink tequila neat type of gal.
No.
You'll have it in a marg.
Yeah. And the occasional shot in my younger years.
Mm-hmm. The smell on this is way better than the taste.
If I ever did tequila neat, it would probably be silver. I don't like the smoke. I don't like the ashy, smoky flavor. That's why I don't like bourbon. Also, brown liquors, and I don't agree.
All right, a note for next time: we got to do ounce pours because I'm not gonna be able to guess any of these.
Do I need to refill those?
I don't know. We'll just keep going and see how it goes. Whoa, that's a total left turn. Is that bourbon? Are all of these bourbon?
I think so.
Shit.
I pulled them all from your drawers. I did not sneakily go and grab a rum or anything.
Mark's sending out some double añejos. I want to try it. I want to try it. You said these are all what now? I'm sorry.
They're all from your shelves that you had pulled out or are visible.
Some of those weren't bourbons.
You didn't ask I thought you asked if they were all whiskeys.
I'm sorry. Are they all bourbons?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because this one...
I don't know for sure, though.
This one does not... Oh, shoot. Don Julio finished in Lagavulin casks. That does sound fantastic, although not for her. She is not a Lagavulin fan. Oh, the smell on this is crazy. It's like I'm outside in the winter when there's snow on the ground.
So you're outside right now.
Yeah, but like there's mint everywhere.
All right, so we've moved from the blueberry patch to a mint field.
In winter.
Maybe it's just spearmint.
But it's not sharp like a lot of mint. Like a lot of the ryes get me a minty note, but they're sharp.
Ooh, butterscotch bomb. That sounds pretty tasty. Mike Halliday says good tequila with candied ginger chaser. Ooh, or kumquat dipped in Himalayan sea salt is quite good. That sounds fantastic. Mark G says Evian. It's a butterscotch bomb.
Am I making snow angels? I might. All right, let's give this a taste here again. Oh, I haven't tasted this one yet at all. Let me give more nosing notes. Oh, it's just beautiful. I'm getting some orange on this. Like orange and mint.
So
kind of like those orange candies, those hard candies that are like a circle.
So to recap, the first one was lemon meat.
The first one was lemon meat and nuttiness. I'm thinking it's probably a Knob Creek or Jefferson's.
Okay.
The second one...
Blueberry patch in a canoe.
Yeah, that's... I feel like that's got to be... I don't know yet. I don't know what that one is yet.
Okay.
The third one...
is orange... Gross.
Sorry.
Orange and what?
Well, now it just smells like burps.
Trevor says the only tequila I have is Patron. Patron is tasty stuff.
I don't like Patron. What do you think?
Oh, I smell the oranges. It's like an orange blossom. It's floral.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
I know what that is. I think I know what that is.
What do you think it is?
Well, wait a minute now. Because I thought it was Nika, but it doesn't have that slightly peaty experience of most Japanese whiskey. It's super light. Super duper light. I mean, I'm having trouble even picking out something for that. Yeah, a lot of people had bad experiences with tequila in college.
I know I did.
Mm-hmm.
You were there for one of those, I think.
Uh-oh, we're going to have a fight about good tequila in the chat now. I don't think it's a spay burn, Trev.
That was Nate. That was Nate, not Trev.
What did I say?
You said, I don't think it's a spay burn, Trev.
Oh. Whatever.
And I think Trevor's talking about tequila.
This one is peanutty. Okay.
I think Trevor's talking about tequila, but he says, I will try some if Nate buys it.
Another mistake that I made when I started collecting bourbon, and one I still honestly kind of sometimes make to this day, is I gave a shit about how I was supposed to drink it. A lot of bourbon tubers, whiskey tubers say, don't worry, drink it however you want to drink it, but there is still a lot of shame around drinking it with ice, around adding water, around not adding water if you're doing a tasting and it's high proof. There's all these unwritten rules of whiskey that people don't abide by sometimes, but they do abide by other times. To me, I have finally really, truly not given a damn anymore about who cares how you drink it. Like, I'm going to drink the whiskey how I enjoy it. And with some whiskeys, that means drinking it neat out of a Glen. Some whiskeys, that means putting on a big rock. Some whiskeys, it means just mixing. Some whiskeys, it means I can drink neat, but in an open mouth glass. You got to find what you like and enjoy it. And I would say if somebody says you shouldn't do it that way, do it this way, try it their way and try it your way and do which one you like better. And then if they say, oh, you're doing it wrong, say, well, I've tried that way. I don't like it as much, so I'm going to keep doing it my way. Don't let much like you shouldn't let the hype around whiskey get you caught up, don't let the shame around drinking whiskey, quote unquote, wrong get to you at all. Drink whiskey how you like it.
I just saw the lag in real time.
Mm-hmm.
The app has us live, but YouTube Studio shows the delay.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't notice that before.
Oh.
And it was in a blink form. It was very strange.
Man, there's all kinds of things going on.
A lot of it's tequila oriented.
Man,
Nate says maybe this comes later, but the whole concept of not using a quality whiskey to make a mixed drink is one thing that annoys me.
I'll tell you a story about that here in a second, Nate. I like Jim Helvey. What's up, my man? He's in the chat. Says, amen. Cheers to that. Let's give this one a taste. Because this thing just smells... Oh, it smells so good. Oh, it's like creamy. It's like pralines and cream. Rabbit hole glass. Shout out to Adam from Rabbit Hole. Thanks for the glass. Pralines and cream. Makes me so happy. I'm going to drink it.
I will say, in terms of Nate's comment, it's like wine. You wouldn't cook with wine that you wouldn't drink.
Oh, that is good. That might be a Booker's. That's got Booker's vibes.
Booker's vibes.
I mean, it could be something like a Knob Creek. It could be something else from that Proof Point and that distillery. But it's so sweet and nutty and nice and creamy. I feel like that's got to be Booker's. That's like a good batch of Booker's.
But which batch? If it's Booker's, you know which batches you own, which apparently you need a bigger shelf for.
Yeah, I'm running out of space. Anywho. Yeah, so Bourbon Baller says I was at my friend's house. He was making old fashioned a Pappy 23. That's the wrong way to drink bourbon. That I'm glad you said that, Bourbon Baller, because that directly fits into where I was going to say, which is that Preston Van Winkle, the current head of the Van Winkle family running the Pappy etc. lines, he has recently become more accepting of putting Van Winkle into cocktails, namely the Old Rip 10, the Lot B12, and the Pappy 15. He said he still can't bring himself to put the Pappy 20 or the 23 into a cocktail, but he has started to enjoy cocktails with those three Van Winkle products, which that just to me goes to tell you, like, this is the dude that makes it. This is the dude whose name is on the bottle. And so if you feel ashamed about making, you know, an old-fashioned with a Van Winkle, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Now, is making an old-fashioned with Pappy 23, that's a pretty aggressive move, but I'm not going to shame anybody for it.
You have a couple comments suggesting that it might be Granny's batch?
Yeah, I've seen that, but I don't think it is.
It's not.
I was going to say beaten biscuits. That's what I was going to say.
It's not that either. Bourbon Baller says Manhattan's out of Saz 18. The guy is stupid. Jim Helvey, nutty equals Booker's typically. Yum.
Joe says not the 15. Yeah, I feel that. Once you get into the Pappies, it gets really hard to make a cocktail out of it. But I still don't think I would shame somebody for doing it. If it's your bourbon, if you've got that kind of money, God.
Mike Halliday says that dude has plenty of shit lying around.
That's a dude that has plenty of that shit lying around. Absolutely. What other mistakes have I made, babe? Paying too much money. It's kind of taboo to talk about it, but if you can't afford to buy every whiskey on the shelf, don't buy every whiskey on the shelf. Buy within your means. Buy within your budget. Unfortunately, I had a couple months there where I really went beyond my bourbon budget, and I had to learn and cut back and be more aggressive about, first off, be more realistic with how much do I actually think I'm going to need to spend in this month on whiskey. Build it into the budget. Actually write down a physical number. It will help you. If you have any concerns about it, it will help you. And you know, don't spend beyond your means. It's just stupid. Just don't do it. I think that's true with any hobby.
I think one mistake you still make is like dropping everything and running to a liquor store on your lunch break because something is dropped.
Oh, I don't think that's a mistake. I think that's a great thing to be able to do. I think that's a great perk of being able to take lunch whenever I need to, so I can run out and get the hottest releases, because I won't be able to access them otherwise. That's the only way I can get my hands on them.
It feels obsessive. Like, I don't run to a plant store as soon as they've gotten shipment.
Didn't you drop everything and buy a dollhouse last week?
It was $20.
It was a good deal.
It was a good deal.
That's my point. When I run to a liquor store like that, I could buy that bottle later, but pay 4 times the price, and I don't want to do that. I buy it when it's a good deal.
And the only reason I dropped everything and ran out was because I lowballed her and offered to get it off her hands immediately.
I mean, you know, that I'm just saying, I feel like that's, if what I'm doing is obsessive, so is that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, if you do it every day, that can be a problem. But, you know, you do that once in a while. I haven't done that in a while.
Nate says that's not a mistake, Yolanda. Mark G says, unfortunately, I always have to go to a different state. Trevor says he does that to get the Patreon bottles. And Nate says a passion is obsessive.
I would have to agree. I have done that to get Patreon's bottles. Yeah, if you guys aren't in the Patreon, at the $50 level, I have some really, really great benefits that I can't talk about on the live stream or on Patreon. But we can chat in a chat if you want to know more. Anyway, what else do I do? Tell me my mistakes. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, Yolanda. Let's have a little.
There are so many things. I think the biggest one, which you're really having to rectify right now, is that you were bad about pacing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was just like a couple drinks in a night, it would be like 3 or 4 really high proof drinks, and then suddenly you're drunk on a Wednesday for no reason, and you didn't even really think about it.
Gotta turn up on Wednesday sometime. He X-rated for the $50 patrons. I could do a Drink Pro After Dark, get an OnlyFans going.
Oh man, gross.
No, I think you're right. I think that is actually a really good example. That's a really good one for the bourbon beginner and mistakes that I've made. I've definitely
continued to make until you were forced to stop.
Well, okay. I think that I don't agree with that phrasing, but whatever. I certainly would agree that I have gotten way too drunk at whiskey tastings before. Because I thought I had to taste everything. I thought I had to try bigger pours of everything. Like, it's okay to not try something. It's okay to only try a half an ounce or a little sip of something. It's okay to say, I'll pour it myself and take just a tiny bit. Like, that's stuff that, the self-control element is not talked about a lot. It really isn't in the whiskey world. And it should be. Yeah, Jim says, if you're standing in line for several hours to get a bottle of bourbon, you are too obsessed for me. I love my bourbon, but not that much. Yeah, staying in line for a couple hours is a long time. That's something I haven't really been willing to do very much. I've had opportunities, but I think the most I've stood in line was maybe 2 hours. And it was only because I knew if I was the first one in line, and I was able to get something good. So,
they bring up proof snobs.
Oh, I think proof snobs is a great one. Yeah, that's a great topic. People who just won't accept that taste.
I'm so sorry.
Bless you.
Oh, goodness.
She's allergic to not drinking.
Shut up.
Yeah, the proof snobs.
Thank you.
So, I think a lot of people... Where are you going?
I think I'm going to sneeze again.
Well, you have to run out of the house.
I'm saving everyone's ears. Also, I have to pee, so I may as well leave anyway.
Alright, well, Yolanda's gone now. That one will just be our little secret. If... Oh, that's a good store pick, too. If you have a good whiskey, I don't care what proof it's at. There are some whiskeys that need higher proof. There are some whiskeys that need lower proofs. It's just really about actually having the right proof on the right whiskey. I think Elijah Craig 18 is perfect at 90 proof. I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that. A lot of people want Elijah Craig 18 higher proof. I think it'd be over oaked. I think that Knob Creek should do full proof. I used to think actually that Knob Creek store picks shouldn't be proofed down at all ever, but now I've learned that certain picks need to be proofed down. The Knob Creek 15-year blend was proofed down to 100, and I thought it was better than a lot of the 15-year store picks that I'd tried. Every one I've tried compared to it, actually. And that's not because, Knob Creek should always be at 50%. That particular blend was designed to be issued at 50%. And so those master blenders and distillers created a product that needed to be at 50%. Different barrels need to be at different places, and so understanding what the product is and how it should be presented is critical. All right. What else we got?
I don't know where you ended, so I'm just gonna let you clear.
I was in line at the liquor store with 2 buddies for 2 hours to get a Blanton store pick. But he was there. But yeah, you got the 2020 birthday bourbon. Like, that's a good reason to wait. Yeah, I would say that's true. I think Jim's got the right thinking on this. I do think. Yeah, in 2 hours at the Heaven Hill gift shop. Like, if you get at the Heaven Hill gift shop at 9 a.m., you'll wait for 2 hours until about 11 when they open. And it's not that bad if you're there with friends. It's about the experience. Whiskey's all about the experience. I think Mash and Drum talks about that. It's like the whiskey is not about the drink, it's who you share it with or something like that. I should know his slogan. I've seen enough of his stuff, but you know, it's not about who you are. It's not about what you are drinking. It's who you're drinking it with. It's not about who you're waiting in line with is what matters more than what you're waiting in line for. Yeah, Bourbon Ballers said the 2020 birthday wasn't as good because the flavor wasn't as complex. I don't think the 2020 birthday bourbon was as complex as some of the older years, but I still really enjoyed it. I still thought it was fantastic. Okay. Last one in the lineup. This is the 5th pour. I hate being so limited like this because I feel like I'm just getting started. We're only an hour into this stream, and I've got all my whiskey almost gone. What am I going to do?
I don't know. I guess you're just going to fill the last hour talking. It's not as if you couldn't do it.
It's just way more fun with a whiskey in your hand. I may just have to pour a cheap whiskey and then spit it out. Just so I have something to sip on.
Mellow corn.
I'll use a special blend. All right.
Come on, Kyle Barrel Chug. No, he can't. He can't anymore.
Yeah, I'm on a new medicine for some neurological problems I'm having, and Doc has really restricted how much I should be drinking, and so I'm trying to honor that in all but the most rare of occasions.
And he broke the rules once this week for our fancy dinner.
Yeah.
He's allowed 1 drink a day. Don't knock the corn.
The corn is good. I'm not knocking it.
He has a whole video devoted to the corn.
I do have a video.
Let's hear your tasting notes.
So this thing... Man, you must have picked a lot of floral whiskeys.
I don't drink it, so I don't know how I would have done that. I'm glad I made you a wonderful
Rick, please do send me some of that military special. I definitely want to do a review on that. I think that'd be fantastic. Send me that military special, Rick. We'll make it happen.
Kyle's first birthday bourbon was the 18.
It was. That's true. I'm trying to think of notes on this, but I'm having trouble coming up with them.
Is it just generic?
Yeah, I think the air's blowing and it's clogging up my sinuses. We gotta clean out these vents.
You only have to suffer through another 6 months of it. Then we'll be moving. 17, 18, 19.
Wait a minute. Bourbon Baller, you're in Washington? Washington State? We're going to be out in Washington in not too long for my cousin's wedding. We got to meet up.
There's an entire state. We're going to be in one specific region of the state.
Listen. My cousin, I am supposed to be heading the bachelor party for my cousin.
Are you just going to
and
say the bachelor party is going to Bourbon Baller's store?
If I can get Bourbon, yeah, hell yeah, we're gonna go to Bourbon Baller's store and
even if it's like a 5-hour drive because it's the opposite end of the state.
Maybe we'll find a way to make it work.
Yep, with the fuck me liquor taxes.
Yeah, it really does have fuck me liquor taxes. You ain't joking. But I think it's like it's some astronomical percent. You would know. But yeah, we gotta connect. Shoot me an email. Somebody from one of my wrenches, throw the email in the chat so that Bourbon Ballers got it. Oh wait, I already got it. Bourbon Ballers email. Never mind. I think I've got your email, or you've got my email.
I mean, let's face it. Kyle was probably already taking extra suitcases. He is the one hosting the bachelor party.
I think Bourbon Baller.
Who knows what he has planned?
Where is the wedding? It's in Seattle. I don't know the exact location.
Also, you forgot to confirm those dates for me, so I haven't taken them off work yet.
Oh, yeah. Bourbon of the week is in. I'm doing good. How are you feeling, my man? Yeah, I'm doing better than I was last time we chatted, I think.
Bourbon Baller says oh shit, so that must be good.
Oh man, this is God, I am just being okay. Let's get serious. I'm too excited about drinking with Bourbon Baller in Seattle. All right, my store is in Samarish, Salmonish.
It's not salmon. There's no L there.
Salmonish.
Can you type it out phonetically for the lawyer that is Kyle?
It's fine.
Samanish?
We can Google that. Where's Salmon?
Samman.
Okay, Google.
Sammamish.
Where is Sammamish?
Here's a map of Sammamish, Washington.
Sammamish.
Oh, that ain't far at all. Hell yeah, brother.
Sammamish.
That ain't far at all. Look at this. That's not far at all. He's right there.
Yeah, but you gotta get through a couple, like, lakes.
They got roads? What is this?
They got roads.
Where do you think we're going? Horse and buggy? It's 30 minutes. He's 30 minutes outside the city.
But
Bourbon Baller, send me the address of your store, please. I'm coming there this fall at the latest because I want to meet you, my man. That'd be freaking cool. Hell yes.
Bourbon of the week, you joined at a great time.
Oh,
no one
man.
knows what's going on, and we're all here anyway.
No worries, man. Flyers game just ended. They have a ferry to take your car across the lakes. There you go. They got roads. They do. I'm not wrong. All right. I gotta get serious here. I gotta give some notes for the people. The people want notes, and I gotta give it to them.
We're canoeing through blueberry
I
fields,
think
and
this
they
is-
got roads!
I think this is why other channels don't let me on their live streams.
I mean, probably.
It's because I say shit like, they got roads! Alright. Yeah, so what's going on, Bourbon of the Week? We just found out that Bourbon Baller in the chat owns a store very near to where I will be traveling anyway for my cousin's wedding, so I'm gonna hit him up. We're gonna share a pour and have a good old time. I am trying 5 different blind pours from Yolanda, little tiny half-ouncers, because my doctor says I gotta cut back. And I don't know what any of them are. This is the 5th one, and I'm trying to give notes for it, and I'm just beside myself, unable to do so. Let me get serious.
On the 5th one.
I'm not serious enough. Let me get serious about noting on this, and I'll be able to give you something.
Can't wait.
All right, here we go. This is not helpful. Damn it.
What is the problem? You pulled out the pretentious note of canoeing through a blueberry patch earlier.
This one doesn't speak to me that way. Fuck. All right, let's just get back to basics here. Lemon, no. Peaches, vanilla, rock candy.
Where's your bourbon wheel at? Maybe I can help you.
I had to close my eyes and visualize it. I have to be the bourbon.
That's why you're not allowed on other streams.
Probably you're not supposed to snort your bourbon. Oh, that's the good stuff. You gotta get it past your deviatum septum
Rich
somehow.
says, peach meat.
Gotta love that peach meat.
And then Bourbon Baller asks if it's Kool-Aid.
I don't think so.
Because you gave the note rock candy.
My sinus is shutting down. Just the left, just the right one. We gotta get there, roto-root it. Just
Why are you the grossest human I know? Why am I dating you?
Because I'm sexy and you know it. Uh-oh! Spilled water. Oh, spilled a lot of water. towel from the last time I did this. Thank you.
If anyone hasn't seen the orange soda video, that's what he's talking about. He can't turn a camera on without spilling something.
Oh man, such a mess.
Rich says LOL, the look on Yolanda's face says no. Yeah, my face doesn't lie.
No. Shakira's hips don't lie, Yolanda's face don't lie.
I'm a really bad liar. Because my face is gonna say it anyway.
Your whole family's like that, though. That's like a genetic trait or something. Or at least your sister's like that.
I think it's because our features are kind of darkened, so anytime we, like... Even micro expressions appear very large on our faces.
TheDrinkPro.com.
Joe Brown says dances like the white man that he is. Oh yeah, he's hella white.
And yet, I've made a rap album. Oh!
Now you're beating me with towels?
Oh! Thank you.
You're a miss.
Alright. Mark asks if you're related to her, his wife because you share the same facial features.
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know your wife.
So I gave Peaches, rock candy.
Oh, you're over this.
I'm
real
starting
fast,
to get
huh?
a little bit of pecan. Like a pecan sandy. Like the cookie. Getting that vibe. Alright, let's taste this thing. Let's snuff up this chit chat.
Are you done dancing like the white dad that you are not?
Oh.
What glass is that?
Blank. That's got real, We're just going to go ahead and figure out what this one is. That might be...
What is
No, I don't have any of that.
BRL Pecan Pie RR pick?
Big Red Liquor's Pecan Pie, Russell's Reserve pick. Probably not. He's going to have his new barrel picks in by then. Hell yeah, man. I can't wait to try them.
Well, you just finished that one off.
I did. God, so it's got very, very notable Dickel vibes, but I don't think I have any Dickel left. It's got that minerality. It's got a fruity minerality. Shit. What could that possibly be?
Do you want help?
Sure.
It came from this room.
Man.
Bourbon Ballers.
Enough. Everybody's wanting me to mule
Yep.
Washington picks.
That's literally what Trevor said as you were saying it.
Yeah. Probably not going to happen unless you're in my Patreon, guys. Oh, geez. I don't know what.
Rich says Yolanda spies with her little eye. Bourbon, that is brown.
Yeah, pretty much. God, what could that be?
As he sucks up the last remnants of it with his nose.
I mean, it's not Old Forester. It could be New Riff.
I think I'm gonna need a final guess.
Shit.
He has no idea. But he's had no idea since he started smelling it the first time. It's a store pick, if that helps.
There's no way it's Four Roses.
No.
Is it one of these Buffalo Trace
No.
picks? It's not the Buffalo Trace pick?
Nope. Literally not even on that shelf.
Oh, is this the larceny pick from Big
No.
Red? Alright, what is it? I've failed 4 times.
Cork Dorks.
Oh.
Old Scout 107.
Grab that bottle. That can't be Dickel, is it?
I don't know. Why would I know that?
Can you grab an empty glass too?
Donde está?
Kitchen. Jim says, I think 2 store picks equals Patreon. What? Grab one that's on the counter. Grab my mug. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so this is the oh. So it is Dickel. I didn't realize that. Just give me any of it. I'm not going to drink out of it. I was going to spit into it.
Oh. I didn't know what the purpose was.
So I wanted the mug. Okay. So it is. So this actually makes me happy. So I didn't know where this pick was from.
I'm just going to go grab the other 2 well then.
What? Why? Wait. What are you doing?
I have a couple from the kitchen, so if I just put them on the side here, I don't have to go all the way back to the
Okay, can you grab the mug while you do that, please? Yeah. Okay. All right, so this is the Cork Dorks pick, which is a Tennessee. Well, I picked it up in Tennessee anyway. Tennessee liquor store, 107 proof, Old Scout American. This is expertly blended. It says expertly blended from whiskeys distilled in Indiana and Tennessee. I knew that this was MGP, but I didn't know it was also Dickel. So I'm actually really happy with myself that I was able to identify the Dickel. I just didn't remember which Dickel juice I had and where. I didn't think I had any Dickel. I was like, the only Dickel I remember trying recently was Old Carter Batch 6. I was wrong. I do have some Dickel. Hard to miss that Dickel juice. Alright. This is not what I meant, but okay.
I don't know what mug you're talking about.
The one with Drink Pro on it. That's opaque. But just sit down. Get back in the stream. We need you.
You don't need me.
Alright. You know, this was actually a lot better when I first opened it. This has gotten much worse with time.
Better not drink that whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's got a really distinct peanutty note on the palate. But that's dissipated almost entirely now. When I first tried it, it was like some of the Booker's batches, but now, yeah, now it's the Dickel juice is really showing up a lot more and kind of taking away from that peanut note and making it a bit worse, unfortunately.
You done?
It's got a good finish. Nice, long, nutty. But that bottle's definitely gotten worse since I first tried it. So, all right. So that last one was Dickel. All right, let's go to the rabbit hole one because that one's almost empty too. Didn't even have enough for me to really get a taste again. The rabbit hole one. What were my notes on the rabbit hole one?
I don't remember. What is this? The second to last one you had?
Yeah.
This one was the orange and something. Orange and something else. It was like the orange blossom one. See, this is why we put letters or numbers on the glasses.
That wouldn't help me. I didn't write anything down. I would have written anything. Okay, I have no idea what that is. What was that one?
Jim Beam Distiller's Cut.
Interesting. That one I think has gotten better with time. This stuff is... I think this is my last bottle, unfortunately. But, I bought a bunch of this when I first found it because it was like $25 or something, and you just absolutely could not beat it. It is just absolutely amazing value for the price. I'm very sad that they...
I think that's the same one he said praline on.
No, I think the praline one was actually this one. And I mentioned that the Cork Dorks pick... maybe it was this one. I don't know. I thought it was the Cork Dorks one. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because... Yeah, as Bourbon Baller correctly points out, it's Beam is peanuts. And this particular, the Distiller's Cut, is one of the best Beam products I've ever tried, honestly.
Trevor says way better than Devil's Cut.
Man, that's good whiskey. That's just good whiskey. I mean, that bottle was like $20, $25. Absolutely cannot beat it. I wish they would bring that brand back. It's absolutely worth doing. All right, what was in the old Rip Van Winkle glass here?
Crown Royal Rye.
Interesting.
I didn't give you a chance to guess.
I wouldn't have a million years guessed that. The Crown Royal Rye is a sleeper hit. Like, I liked that way more than I thought I would. Bourbon Baller says Baker's 13 is the best Beam bottle. You know, I've never had Baker's 13, unfortunately. So this stuff, I just picked up a bottle of this. Maybe within the last week. But I'm super impressed. I think this is my favorite Crown Royal product I've ever tried, to be honest with you. It is just wonderfully delicate and sweet and vanilla icing. This was the canoe one. This was the nice, relaxing day. And I think part of that, honestly, was like...
I think so.
You know, I know that...
No, this is the one that you were confused on. The Drink Pro one was the one that's the calm, relaxing day.
Oh.
This one, you were like... You asked me if everything was bourbon.
Oh, so I was right that it wasn't bourbon. I couldn't identify what it was, but it was Canadian whiskey. Canadian rye, in fact. Well, that actually kind of gives me hope a little bit to know that I was like, oh, this doesn't smell like bourbon. Gets me closer than where I was. Let's give that one more taste here. Yeah, it's got a really interesting, like, light, minty, fresh... That's what I said on this one, was like minty being in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
But it was gentle. I should have known it was a rye, because mint and rye are a classic pairing.
You're really creating a wall for yourself to not be able to read the comments, aren't you?
I can see the comments right through here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, the Drink Pro glass. I think this was my long and winding road here.
Yeah. What's your guess? Because I didn't give you a chance to guess the last two, or you just decided not to.
I think this is the one that I said it's just got to be Booker's.
Oh yeah, this is the one that everyone said Granny's batch on.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that was this one.
I don't remember. What is it? This tastes like Buffalo Trace product to me.
Wild Turkey 101.
Really?
Bourbon.
Oh, wow. I would not have guessed this was Wild Turkey 101. It's way less rye forward than a lot of the Wild Turkey stuff. Wild Turkey 101, guys. Yeah, there have been some really good 14 or 15 year Knob Creek picks out of Beam lately, Rich. Rich, have you tried the Knob Creek 15-year, the special edition where they did their blend at 50%? I'd be curious what your thoughts are on that. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I wanted to hate it. I wanted to be like, this should have been at 60 proof and store picked. And honestly, I thought it was better than most of the store picks I've tried. Don't get me wrong, I really liked those store picks, but I was still so blown away by the 15-year Knob Creek special.
Nate says my favorite from Beam is still Booker's and Knob Creek Cast Strength Rye.
The Knob Creek Cast Strength Rye is a really solid rye. Yeah, I'm super surprised this Wild Turkey does not drink as rye forward.
It's not. It's bourbon.
No, I know, but Wild Turkey is sort of known for high rye bourbon.
Oh.
So you're going to get more of a bite.
Because I purposely did not choose the rye because I know ryes are not necessarily your jam as an overall.
Hey, Rich, if you want to try the 15-year, reach out to me. I understand why you'd be scared away from buying one from what people have said, but we can make something happen, my man. Oh, man.
Were you supposed to have spit that out?
I poured a pretty small one. It's fine.
Bourbon
All right.
Baller says Knob Creek 15 equals very disappointing.
Well, I disagree with you, Bourbon Baller. Sorry about it. Maybe because my hopes were so low. If you were disappointed, that means you had higher hopes and then it failed. I had very low expectations and then was pleasantly surprised. So that could be part of the difference. Yeah, if Bourbon Baller did an OF pick, I am all about that.
He said he was wanting to do one next earlier in the chat.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what, Bourbon Baller? If you're gonna go, if you go to Old Forester, let me know, and I'll come meet you at the distillery, and we'll have a grand old time. Because I'm only about 2.5 hours from Old Forester Distillery. So, if you make it down there for that pick, you let me know, man. That'd be a lot of fun. Cheers. This is the Booker's. This is the Booker's.
You think there's Booker's? Are you sure it's Booker's?
No, it's probably Knob Creek.
No.
What is it?
Yellowstone.
Really? It's this Yellowstone right here?
It's Yellowstone Single Barrel.
This one right back here?
Yes.
Grab it, please.
I can't. You're a lot closer.
Do you know what's so funny about that?
Someone else was drinking this in the chat earlier, and I almost said something.
Yeah, I think Rick was drinking Yellowstone. So, this is the cask strength, which is
Rich,
why it was confusing.
Or was it Rick?
I think it was Rick. This is why I was so confused. This is the Crown Liquors pick of Yellowstone. It's 115. So it's pretty high proof compared to the older Yellowstone picks. But I think most importantly, a Beam is the guy who does this distilling, Stephen Beam. And what did we say about Beam products? Peanuts. They're nutty. And what did I name as my guess? Booker's, a Beam product. So,
but
it's not surprising that this
your
has that
notes
nuttiness.
on this were lemon meat.
Well, that makes sense too because it's relatively young. That citrus brightness is definitely a rye, a young whiskey, I should say. It can be rye, but it's also just a young whiskey. Yeah. Now that I say that, now that I know what it is, of course, I can obviously smell the youth. I'm super impressed with that, though. It's a lot better than I remember it being.
Lemons are what color? Yellow. Because Yellowstone.
Yep. There you go.
If you like the note lemon meat, pick up a bottle of Yellowstone.
The finish on that's crazy long and wonderful. We had all kinds of things going on in the chat. All right. Well, see, now what the hell do I do? How do you do a stream when you can't drink anything?
Sounds like you have to figure that out.
I don't know. That's the great philosophical question. Like, these are going to be difficult if I can't have anything to drink. I mean,
You barely drank anything last week. How'd you get through that one?
Well, I don't remember. I don't know how I got through it.
Oh, because you were trying to fix that barrel and you just massively failed.
Yeah, there was just nothing we could do. I've refilled that barrel, by the way, and we're going to do a second curing, a second seasoning, if you will. And then I'm going to do my experiment with Dan Kidd's 2 o'clock chugs MGP product. We're going to put in there. Maybe play around with a couple other things in there. See what we can do. Do something fun. What about getting some Armagnac or something and aging it in the barrel for a few days and then drinking it and then throwing some other whiskey in there to get an Armagnac vibe. I don't know. There's some fun things to be done with that.
I don't know. Give him some sort of life update or something. Tell him about
Life
the orange.
update.
I don't know. Or you can just end the stream.
Yeah. I mean, some of these people get on here and they stream for 3 or 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever, just insanely long streams. I don't usually do that.
After 8 hours.
Well, I used to be able to drink for 8 hours.
Someone said she's super hot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah,
Thanks, Nate.
I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. I think I've done all my talking for the night. Yes. Oh, they were definitely drinking more than 2.5 ounces. No question.
What's your dream bottle outside of ridiculous?
I mean, the dream bottle to own at this point, I'm not sure. I've tried. I've been very lucky that most of, not all of, but most of the dream bottles that I've wanted to try, I've had the chance to try. I haven't been able to try a lot of the early picks, or not picks, any of the early limited editions from E.H. Taylor. So I haven't tried the Tornado or the Old Fashioned Mash or the, what else? I've got a couple of samples of those, but I really wanted to do the whole line of special edition Taylor.
Mark says Michter's 20, and then Nate asks if Michter's 20 is considered ridiculous.
Yeah. Michter's 20, I think, is up there. You know, I would love to try a Michter's 25 or the Sour Mash Celebration. I haven't been able to try either of those, but I would love to. That's that. But owning a bottle, see, to me, Bourbon Baller's question of dream bottle, I think of dream bottle to own, and I don't necessarily need to own those. I mean, I would love to own them, but I really just want to taste them. I think my dream bottle to own, honestly, right now,
Happy 23.
no. Bourbon Baller says celebration's so good it'll make you pass out. This shouldn't be so hard.
I think maybe it's just because you've kind of reined in what you've been looking for recently. Like you're not after that tater bait.
You know, at this point, I might say a William LaRue Weller, honestly.
That's what Nate said.
Yeah, the William LaRue Weller that's, I mean, I know it's not as rare or as expensive as some of the bottles out there, but I loved it so freaking much when I tried it. I've tried a couple different editions now, and I've loved them so freaking much every time. So I think, like, having a bottle of William LaRue Weller that I could get at retail or close to retail, that's my dream. If I got that, I mean, I wouldn't want for anything.
What about Birthday Bourbon 2018?
I really like I've had several Birthday Bourbons I really like. I think that's probably a close, I wouldn't necessarily call it a second, but it's up there. The Old Forester Birthday Bourbon is one I've been hunting for several years. So it's on my list for sure.
It's one of your favorites.
It's one of my favorites. It's one I've been hunting pretty aggressively. But it's not as much of a dream bottle because I still feel like it's in, like, if I really wanted to bite the bullet, I could drop $600 and buy a bottle of it and just feel bad, but still do it. I legitimately can't drop secondary money on a William LaRue. I just can't afford to do that. Even with the feeling bad part, I just couldn't afford to do it. So I think William LaRue's got to be up there. I would really love to have a Pappy 15. I think that's high on my list. We talked about some of the Michter's products. The Double Eagle Very Rare and the Old Fashioned Copper. I'd love to try those. I'd love to have those, but I'm not willing to drop a couple $1,000 secondary. That's just not something I'm able to do. Or retail, not even secondary. Retail, a couple $1,000. So, like, there's also that kind of element of, for me, the qualifier that Bourbon Baller put on the question was about outside of ridiculous. For me, ridiculous is, can I afford it or not? He said he missed out on the William LaRue. He's a GTS drinker mostly. We had for 92, sold out real quick. Oh, I bet it did. George C. Stagg, I love George C. Stagg. I will, that's one of my favorite. That's definitely one of my favorite whiskeys I've ever tried, and I keep those on hand when I can, but I can't very often. But the William LaRue is got to be the dream whiskey, I think.
I would say we can open the chat up to AMA, but I'm worried about a couple comments that were muted quickly about what might appear. So keep it, kosher, but AMA until Kyle decides to end the stream. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good whiskey out there. I've always had mixed feelings about jumping on a bandwagon of expensive and rare whiskeys, and like Mark said, and I think Bourbon Baller said he hadn't. Well, Bourbon Baller said he hadn't tried it. Mark said he hasn't heard great things about OFC. I haven't tried OFC. I really would like to at some point. I had an opportunity to, but I was too slow on the clicks. Got to click really fast, so I missed out on that chance. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anybody say anything extraordinary about it. I've heard people really like it, but it's always one of those things where you start getting in the $2,000 or $3,000 range. You go, is that, how good is that? Is it $2,000 good? No, of course not. You're paying for the rarity. I think Bourbon Baller was talking about drinking the Baccarat. I bet he would be pretty willing to admit it wasn't $2,000 good or whatever. I think he actually did earlier in the chat. And it's because you're paying for the crystal, you're paying for the rarity. The secondary market's sort of a different story because you are paying for the rarity, but you're also paying for hype, and sometimes hype can be attached with something like quality. That's why William LaRue is a $100 bottle on paper, but no one's paying $100 for it. It's that kind of thing. But when you start talking about like Michter's 25, which I think, Michter's 20 is like $600 or $700 MSRP, I think. 25 is more than that, and Celebration's a couple thousand. You're getting outside of the realm of possibility for me and for a lot of people. Rather get Lewis next time.
Instead of Baccarat.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to do with myself.
I don't know. Do you have any questions for me? We never talk to each other.
Yeah, why is that?
We both have very busy lives.
Remember drinking all the Stag Junior? I do remember that. Yeah, it was kind of a mess. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up, Paul, because Friday, tomorrow, I'm releasing a review of Stag Junior Batch 15. So I finally got my hands on 15, and I'm going to release the results from my experiment, which I did after the Stag Junior extravaganza, shit show, whatever you want to call it. I did this live stream where I drank all 14 Stag Junior batches. That's still floating around out there. It was kind of a mess. But afterwards, I got some flack because people were like, oh, you can't really taste things when you try 14 in a row like that. Your palate was shot. So I said, okay, for Patreon members, every Sunday morning I'll release a video reviewing one of the batches, 1 through 14, and then we'll compare the results to the original live stream. So that comparison is in the video that's coming out on Friday, as well as a review of Stag Junior Batch 15. And I'll tell you what, you know, little bit of foreshadowing, it's really good. I was surprised. I wanted to like Stag 15 less than I liked it. So,
Mark, don't kill them too permanently. Sorry to see you go. Bourbon Baller, yes, it was a shit show.
You should consider starting a channel, Bourbon Baller. A lot of people are doing it. It's a fun thing to do. It's a fun way to engage with people. Yeah, Trevor said if he saw Mictor's 20, he probably would do it. I believe that. I believe that. Yes, it was classic over drinking. You're totally right. You're totally right, Paul. And it was fun to do, and that's a hard thing to let go of, unfortunately. But I've been told I need to, and I'm going to listen to the experts because I'm a doctor in law, not a doctor in medicine. So I'll stay in my lane and let them stay in theirs.
Probably for the best.
700 is secondary, Bourbon Baller says. What's the retail price for Mictor's 20? I'm not actually sure. Well, I'll go ahead and kill this sample and just spit it out. This is the Cork Dork stuff.
Dickle.
It's a blend. It's got Dickel, but it's also got Indiana, so it's MGP and Dickel together.
Interesting.
And I gotta say, I think I like that better than the regular Dickel that I've had most of the times. Although that overclock, that old Carter, I'm seeing OC and thinking overclock from computing. That old Carter batch 6 is really I really liked it. It's very different. It's a excuse me. It's a pretty solid Dickel product, and it's got the classic notes without going too far. Anthony asked what I was drinking there. It was the Cork Dork's pick of Old Scout 107 American. It's a blend of MGP and Dickel juice. It's pretty solid stuff.
And Bourbon Baller said he'd seen the Mictor's 20 for $2.50.
For Mictor's 20, that must be wholesale pricing because you're a store, my man. Because I'm pretty sure. Okay, Google. What is MSRP on Mictor's 20?
Around $700.
Yeah.
According to the Whiskey Watch.
All right, shut up. So, you know, I think that $2.50 is either wholesale pricing or we gotta make a connection, Bourbon Baller. You hit me up.
Well, pay that Washington tax.
That's right. I'll happily pay the Washington tax. It'd still be less than $700. Man.
Bourbon Baller said maybe.
Maybe. We can figure something out. All right. I'm going to get something cheap to sip on so I can be sipping on something because I need something to do with my hands.
Do you want me to go get you something?
No. Entertain the people. I'll be
I'm
back.
bad at... You always put me on the spot. Every single stream. Wrenches, please attest to that. Every stream. Put me on the spot, and then I'm stuck entertaining you guys, talking about anything that comes to mind. I don't have much to say to guys. Guys, I've had water and Gatorade, so I'm even less chatty than normal. Thanks, Anthony. I guess I did fill the air.
Oh. You should overserve yourself, then go off of your opinion on the worst Supreme Court decision ever.
That would be funny, but he can't.
The worst Supreme Court decision ever? There's so many bad ones.
He'll do that without overserving himself.
Yeah, seriously. Yolanda the Drink Pro.
Want my review on water?
Yeah, what's your review on that Gatorade Fruit Punch? Why don't you let the people know?
Well, it's empty, so I guess it was pretty solid. And it's Ice Punch.
Ice Punch.
Which I think just means it's fruit punch, but doesn't have any food coloring in it.
Ah, okay. Ice Punch.
Ice Punch.
No. tooth goes flying. Yeah,
Supreme Court decision.
Yeah, there you go, Paul. There you go. Plessy versus Ferguson. Whenever there's a Supreme Court decision that supports slavery, it's pretty high on the list. That case is people need to know the history about Plessy versus Ferguson.
Yeah, you should explain that to the people because I have no idea what you.
Well, it's been a minute since I've been in law school and read that case, but my understanding was Plessy versus Ferguson essentially reaffirms the position that black people are property and not people, and therefore they can be brought back to their owners under certain circumstances.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know though. Korematsu's got to be up there. I believe that's the name of the case that reaffirmed our decision to intern the Japanese during World War II. That's not great.
Also,
John Roberts finally officially overturned Korematsu in a recent decision.
Just recently?
Yeah, within the last 4 years, I
That's
believe.
pretty sad.
Maybe the last 8.
All
I don't
right,
know. It
so
all blends together.
Last 50 years.
The last 50 years? I don't know. The last 50 years haven't been nearly as terrible. I think so. I'll give you a different take here. Pretty shit equals so effed up. Yeah, exactly. I'll say this, and this is fun because it's controversial, but I'm going to be controversial for the wrong reasons. No matter what you believe, I'm controversial for the wrong reasons. Roe v. Wade is a really problematic case because
the one case I didn't want you to talk about because I have very strong
I
opinions.
know you do. But
one case.
But let me say this. Like, here's the if you think abortion is
Oh no.
Just let me get this out. If you think that abortions should be legal, then you should be concerned because Roe v. Wade is built on a very expansive history of broadening the what they call penumbras of the Constitution, aka they're basing this idea on pretty progressive in the sense of like changing, not in the sense of left or right, progressive stances that are being taken. So they carved out a right in a way that made it very easy to walk back, and now people are fighting to prevent it being walked back. So if you think abortion should be legal, then you don't want it to be on such shaky ground. If you think abortion should not be legal, I think it's a lot more obvious why people don't like Roe v. Wade, because it makes abortion legal in the United States. But I think that no matter whether you believe it should or shouldn't be legal, Roe v. Wade is a poor footing for such an important question in American life. And I think generally, whenever the Supreme Court is deciding fundamental questions about our life, that gives me pause. I want those questions decided by the legislature. I want them argued about and discussed by a larger group of people with more positions, with more thoughts on the ideas. I don't like 7 people deciding fundamental questions about existence in our country.
I have so many things to say that I'm not going to say.
I'm sure you think so. Was jailing American Japanese worse than anything Trump ever did?
I mean,
probably.
It was the closest thing in American history that we had to the Holocaust, so yes.
Just shut up, is Lindsey Graham in the chat? I'm really not trying.
Wait, you're a lawyer.
Yeah. Can't believe they let me do it, but I am.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's the biggest, there's a lot of, let me go back to Korematsu for a minute, because the Japanese internment is frustrating for a very specific reason. It's frustrating because they took American citizens, and for no reason except their nationality, they put them into essentially prison.
Yeah, because of their ancestors, not even because of their nationality. They were American citizens.
Right, they were American citizens. That's a very important part of that case. And I think, there's a lot of people that feel strongly about what Trump was doing with the border, but that's an important distinction. And being a lawyer, thinking legally is all about important distinctions. And those people were not American citizens. And so they didn't have the protection of the Constitution. They didn't have a right to be here. So, how we treat them is a different question. It's an important question, but it's not as legally egregious as what happened during World War II.
Peter White says Canada interned them as well.
Are you referring to the Japanese?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of places did that, but it's pretty unpleasant to think that, some of these people, and I've seen interviews with some of the people who, they had signed up to fight in the war, even against their parents' or their grandparents' country because they believed in America, and they lost that opportunity. They were just put in camps. It was a weird, unpleasant time in American history.
There's some great books written by people who experienced it out there.
Yeah.
I remember reading one in school at some point.
Oh, I can give you another fun one. The Obamacare decision. That decision, I don't think it's one of the worst decisions, but I just think it's really, really funny. Tax law, Bourbon Baller, I practice tax law. I just think it's really, really funny that John Roberts felt so confused and he hemmed and he hawed about overturning Obamacare, and so he made this weird little carve-out that basically only he could write. I'll get off the legal topic after this one, because I know a lot of people are just falling asleep on it, but I just think it's really funny that, one guy had the power to decide the fate of this huge healthcare overhaul bill, and he drew this weird little line in the sand, and then that just became the law, because that's how America works. Wags is in the chat. What's up, Stanley? Said, like the new setup. Sorry I'm late. Congrats on 500. Now let's get to 1,000 on IG and YouTube. Cheers to that, my man. I appreciate it. I'm hoping. I'm trying to. Stanley, you missed the blind flight, but that's okay.
He also missed all of us fiddling with everything in the first 15 minutes of the stream.
Well,
so
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing that he missed all of that. Because it's...
Hashtag new setup.
Yes, the hashtag new setup. But we're streaming 1080p, 60... Not hertz.
Frames per second.
That's what it is. 1080p, 60 frames a second. I'm smooth now. You can see all my pores and shit. I'm glad I didn't go 4K. I had debated about getting a 4K webcam, and then I looked in the mirror and said, let's go 1080. 1080 is enough. Can you help with the Washington with the liquor tax, please? Hook it up. I would love to try. Matter of fact, when I was in law school, you'll get a laugh out of this, Bourbon Baller. Well, yeah, ounce per second, 60 ounces a second.
No, that says once per second. 1 hertz equals once per second.
Oh, I can't read. I'm a lawyer, but I can't read. I thought he was making a joke about 1 hertz being 1 ounce per second. Yes, 60 hertz.
Nate, that's not the camera, that's the light. He's too damn close to the light. We haven't figured out the kinks in the lighting.
Well, I need to turn down... So the camera has the ability to turn down the exposure. And when in an experiment Yolanda and I did, I turned it down 1 click and it was perfect, at least for me. I don't know, she might have been too dark, but that's why I wanted to try it. Because my pasty ass needed it. Because right now I look ghostly. But...
I could probably handle one. I'm a little washed
I
up.
couldn't get it to turn down enough. How much does she have to pay to get a comfortable chair like you? I knew somebody was going to comment on that, and I'm not surprised it was Wags. It's coming, Stanley. It's going to happen.
I did ask the company to buy me a chair earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You guys that are supporting the Drink Pro channel, that's going to help get Yolanda a nice chair. We're going to buy her a chair from the company that's going to be used for company purposes, like this streams, but we got to get enough money first before we make it happen. Well, more and more people are starting to show up. We got Mike McAllister.
Does that mean we need to start streaming at fucking 10:30 at night? Because I hope not.
I mean, honestly, that's when a lot of people turn on, so, you know.
But I'm tired. I'm tired.
Go to bed.
Then are you just going to talk to dead air in the space?
That's what I was doing before.
Yeah, and then everyone voted for me to be here.
Yeah, 27% tax on liquor. That's freaking crazy, man. Mike McAllister, how's it going, my man? Glad to have you. Yeah, 27% is bananas. And you're right, Rick. Rich, 1 ounce per second is a quick path to a blackout. You are not joking. Take a nap around 5 p.m. before the stream, Yolanda. That's what I did today. I had to. I was exhausted.
He left work early.
I was so exhausted. I couldn't get anything done. I was bleary-eyed. I was staring at the screen and it was awful. So I had to. So I flexed some time. We have to start work early tomorrow, which sucks, but
we missed Paul's question.
I'm okay with it.
What's your favorite tequila? I know you have one.
Paul asked the question, what's my favorite tequila? I know you have one.
It's towards the top.
I see.
Peter, just Red Bull and vodka. Maybe in the future. I'm not drinking tonight. I had water and Gatorade, which is now both empty.
People do like bourbon for sure. My favorite tequila. That's a good question. I've had some really good mezcal, but I can't think of the name of it. I have not explored tequila nearly enough. That's something I want to do more. I want to do a video specifically on tequila in the future, Paul.
I like Patron, but I don't think I've explored it enough to have a favorite. I do, in general, prefer silver over gold just because I'm not going to drink coffee. It's 10:30. Nate, no.
Bourbon Baller asked a question.
I am not there yet. I'm trying to answer my tequila.
Bourbon Baller asked, have you ever tried Bourbon vodka?
I have not.
I have not tried Redbreast 27. Trev is asking Mike about it. That's something I really want to try. I want to get into some of the Redbreast.
I've never even heard of Bourbon vodka.
Yeah, Anthony's got points. Go get yourself your own drink and make me fill the dead air.
Ah, there you go.
Beaumont vodka. I'm pretty good at filling dead air myself, so I don't know why she has such a problem with it.
He was less on the spot than I was. I'll just leave you for like 5 minutes.
Just go relax, kick back, enjoy the new setup. This is, by the way, don't break anything. This is the shelf that's in my videos. I've set up a kind of fun modular setup now where from this direction coming towards me, this direction is live streams, and then that direction this way is for my videos. So I've got a corner in my relatively small office that's being used in 2 different ways for videos. So that's kind of fun. The Venmo donation did get me closer to the chair, Stanley. It definitely did. Yeah, I'm always willing to accept more Venmo donations. Speaking of. All right. Kyle, if you're going to do more episodes like the Orange Juice one, you need to check out Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati. I really do. I've heard nothing but good things about Jungle Gyms. Del Mongui Chicacapa Mezcal is the way to go. I'll have to check for that, Peter. I've never had that one before. Bourbon Baller, you do see an Old Fitz. I've got 2 of them on the shelf. I've got an Old Fitz Decanter 9 and an Old Fitz Decanter 14 bottled in bond. They are tasty. I really like them. Matter of fact, that 9 was Trevor's, and I talked him into selling it to me because he had tried it over and over and never liked it. It was about half empty. I said, dude, you don't like this. Sell it to me. And he finally did. He finally caved in. Appreciate it, Trevor. Thank you, my man. Nate says, the issue is Kyle's way too comfortable just staring silently at the camera. That checks out. Oh, man. Akeem the Dream. What up, man? I like that you wrote M-A-I-G-N. What up, man? How you doing, man? What Stag Juniors you got back there? Anthony, I'm glad you asked. You will see all of them in my video releasing on Friday. It released yesterday for the patrons, but it's coming out Friday, tomorrow, for the regular viewership. And so we're going to have...
Do you want a clementine?
Sure. So you'll be able to see all of the ones that I own because I use them all in the video. I don't remember them right now, which is why I'm not telling you what they are. One of them is batch 9. I know that much.
What is happening?
Oh, Mike's going to go to Jungle Gyms next week and he's going to be broke. Show me what you... Take some photos, my man. I want to see. I want to see. The Chiefs in 4 points, says Paul. I can't gamble in that game. It's just going to make me too mad.
You get mad without gambling.
I know. That's why I can't gamble on it.
For the win, bringing a Clementine heart emoji. I brought goldfish too. Speaking of mad, why are you mad?
What
Nick?
bottles you got trying to see, said Bourbon Baller. I've got a lot of solid stuff on the shelf over here. Stags, Elijah Craig, 18, Old Fitz, Old Carters, Bookers, Old Rip Van Winkle, Elmer T. Lee, some variety of Weller products, Bell Mead, things like that. Yeah, don't play Kyle in Madden. That's true. I get pretty riled up about Madden. Yeah, we can mukbang it up a little, I guess. I'm gonna steal a couple of these.
That's why it's so full.
Goldfish. You know,
is he good at Madden, Nate? No, that's the problem.
No Rock Hill. I want a Rock Hill badly, but I can't get my hands on one, man. Bourbon Baller asked about Rock Hill. If I could find a Rock Hill, I would buy it in a heartbeat. But I just have a hard time finding it. Well, Nate, you're not wrong. I am a sore loser. But, Nate, you are also a sore winner. So that's a bad combination. The Kilkerran 8. I've not had that one, Akeem. That sounds interesting. I've read about it. Yeah, Rock Hill's on my buy on the spot too. You know, this is a lot better than eating it the way I ate it during the video.
Because normal people don't eat them like you ate them in the video. I don't know how many people here have watched the soda video, but you should check it out anyway.
Bourbon Baller says Rock Hill's one of my faves. I'm a sucker for it.
You could do some ASMR with the... Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant...
Alright, this is not an ASMR live stream.
How do you like the Elijah Craig 18?
I love it,
Here
Anthony.
He's waiting to open his.
Mine was bottled on 4/27/20, barrel number 4990. I freaking love it. It was a really good barrel, in my opinion.
Akeem said I saw it at 21st Amendment for $400, kind of stared into space and left.
No, yeah, that's too much. 400? No, that's way too much. Oh, you were at 21st Amendment. Well, that's why. 21st, they got high prices. Yeah. 400 for Rock Hill secondary sucks. Yeah, it really does.
Goldfish down.
Hold on. Got it. Nope. Uh-oh.
Now you've just... Guys, living with him is like living with a toddler.
Got it.
Why else do we have goldfish in the house?
I like taking goldfish. My favorite snack. And the best thing about goldfish is you can have 55 pieces. That's a lot of pieces. That's a great size. Take a spoonful of peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, which is a big old spoonful, and a bowl of goldfish, and just roll the peanut butter spoon in goldfish, and just gnaw on it.
Paul asked if marijuana was legal in our state. It is not.
Not in my state. It is in Bourbon Baller's state, though, and that brings me back to a point I was going to mention before. I was talking about law. Before I started my current work with tax law, I was going to be a marijuana lawyer. I had gone out several times to Seattle, and I'd talked with several people in Denver as well about the practicing, law in the field of marijuana and regulation of marijuana. So that was almost my practice. Akeem says my kids live on goldfish. I always steal them too. Heck yeah, man.
Trevor also says goldfish is good.
Oh yeah. I want to know where Bourbon Baller must be buying some great stuff off the shelves, because $60 for Rock Hill is freaking amazing. I'm all in on that. Holy crap.
Well, he manages a liquor store.
I know. He's got the goods.
Akeem's got you.
Yeah, I saw that. We can make that happen, Akeem. I'd be down. Although I think a lot of the bigger firms are building practices in that area, so it's hard to be a startup.
A lot of brick and mortars are set up, ready to go. They're just waiting.
Well, my thinking is, if I can say, look, yeah, you can work with one of those big firms, get some out of town lawyer that knows marijuana in Washington State but doesn't know marijuana in Indiana. That could be helpful. That's the kind of, I know a lot about industrial hemp, which is the biggest connection that Indiana has to cannabis.
My cousin just had a couple fields of hemp that he was growing last season.
Yep.
Trevor says my daughter picks out a bag of goldfish for herself and then gets another one for me.
There you go.
And then Bourbon Baller says the weed pro.
Yeah, of course they're lame, Akeem. They're designed to be. Yeah, I should get Yolanda a box for standing. I think you're right, Stanley.
I do have a step stool. We didn't think about it at the time.
That's great, Wag. I love that shit. She does need one. I mean, it's true.
Yeah, no, I am significantly shorter.
How tall are you? 5'2"?
5'3", and
5'3".
you're 6'3".
Wow.
There's a full foot between us.
I'm a foot taller. See, this microphone, I can talk really close to it and give you the radio voice that I know you've always wanted from these streams. Next up, we're going to play a little ditty from 1975. This is also why I'm not like Fred Minnick, who has a microphone like this, because he can be serious with a microphone like this, and I just dick around with it.
Nate says Kyle After Dark voice.
Welcome to the Drink Pro After Dark. Today, we're going to get down and dirty. Oh, yeah.
Stop making promises you won't deliver on.
I just drove down to Louisville, Akeem. I've never seen Old Carter around here. I don't think most of it makes it out of Louisville. Matter of fact, I just go straight to the Carters themselves. I know where their store is and go stand next to them.
That's why he got a barrelhead.
Yeah, that's how I got barrelhead. You'll see it in my video on Friday. It's in the corner. Did you meet her in the Shire? That's so mean. Stanley, you're not gonna make a friend out of Yolanda with that. You gotta watch out. You gotta stay on her good side. Paul, I got you, man. I gotta catch myself here. All right.
Rude. I also have tiny feet, thank you.
And they're not hairy.
They're definitely not hairy.
She's not as fun as Shire folk.
Fuck you. You're right. I won't let you eat second breakfast.
What about elevensies?
No.
You're taking my spot, Nate. You're twins.
Oh my God, that's true. Because last week I was all about Nate. Nate was being very nice to me last week.
Yeah, Stanley Wag's got to watch out. He's gonna end up on her shit list.
Oh, Nate, you're her boo.
So Paul, great question. Top 3 albums of all time. So first one.
I can think of one.
Or what are you gonna think of?
I think you're gonna say the postal service.
Ooh, that's a good one. I wouldn't have said that. Such Great Heights. I would not have said that. But actually, I don't think it's called Such Great Heights. I don't remember what it's called, but that's a song on the album. But I don't think I'm going to say that one. Even though that's a very good album.
You don't think it would be in your top 3 of all time?
Not of all time. It's top 10, but it's not top 3.
Okay, fine. I'm just happy I got 1 out of your top 10. You and I don't discuss music very often.
No.
So for me to get 1 is pretty...
I think my number 1... Oh.
Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah. Best album of all time. I think I gotta say Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix. I mean, it was his masterpiece. And Jimi Hendrix influenced me so much. Gotta have Barry White on the list. So Jimi Hendrix influenced me so much that when I was 5 years old, my parents bought me a red Fender Stratocaster, just like Jimmy. This is actually one of the 50th anniversary editions of a Stratocaster, 1946 to 1996. I would have been 6 years old, rather. I said 5. But excuse me. But I got this guitar when I was 6 years old, and I've kept it ever since. Got the Jimi Hendrix strap on it. So, you know, I gotta go Jimmy with my number 1 because he was so influential on me musically. I think number 2 for albums, I'm gonna go with. It's gotta be. I think it's gotta be Steely Dan. Honestly, like Steely Dan's Asia, and the reason why is if you ask people who like test speakers. Like, Steely Dan's Asia is one of the, if not the best album for testing speakers and audio file equipment. And part of it's because the studio work on it is just absolutely extraordinary. And there are some other really great studio works, like Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the best studio projects of all time, but it's one song. Asia was just a masterwork of studio production. So that's got to be... I think that's probably number 3. I'm not going to make that number 2. Number 2 is probably got to be Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. When I was in college, I would imbibe some traditional herbs and just really, really enjoy Dark Side of the Moon. That was some good times. That really got me through a lot. Oh, yeah, Deacon Blues. Hell yeah, Akeem, man. I love that song so freaking much.
Oh, you jumped by it so much.
I know, I did, but that caught my eye. I do like Barry White. Oh, my darling, I can't get enough of your love, baby. I'm not a singer, but... Anthony, what's the top whiskey in your collection at the moment? Top unicorn you're looking for? Top unicorn I'm looking for, I think I still got to go with either William LaRue Weller or Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. I haven't been able to buy either of those, and I really want both of those. Although I'd love to have a George T. Stagg. I just killed the last of my 2019 George T. Stagg, and I want the 2020 so freaking bad. Top whiskey in my collection right now.
I think it's your old...
Yeah, I think it's got to be the old Rip Van Winkle 10. People were kind of low on the old Rip Van Winkle 10. A lot of people were like, it's not good, it's not worth it, whatever. I think that's because of secondary pricing. Like, yeah, it's not worth the $600 or whatever nonsense, but the old Rip Van Winkle 10-year at 107 proof, honestly, is a fantastic whiskey to me. I liked it better than the 12-year Lot B. Maybe better than the 15, although I've never done a side-by-side. It's just, although I will be soon. Big shout out to Dusty Dan for helping me get access to a Van Winkle 23 year. So I will now have one of every Van Winkle.
She's walking to the living room.
Okay. I now have one of every Van Winkle bourbon. So I'm going to do one hell of a flight, probably for my 1-year anniversary. But big shout out to Dusty Dan for helping me make that happen. Throw down on some Voodoo Child. I love Voodoo Child. Hell yeah, man. Stanley, Yolanda, I was kidding. Sorry, I want to be on your short list. I mean, shit list. Show her how much I donated to her chair. Maybe I'll get some points back. Do you play it, Rich? Yes, I do play the guitar. Not as well as I used to. I've been playing bass more. I'm actually working on a band. Tomorrow is my practice night, by the way. But yeah, I'm working with a band and I'm playing bass mainly because the other guy's a better guitarist than I am for this kind of music in particular. But I do play it. Usually I play more bluesy stuff. Every once in a while I'll play some like fun Arabic scales just because for some reason they're very instinctual to me. And so I can make something that sounds pretty fun using some weird modal music. But yeah, you know. What else we got in here? Going down, going down. Do you ever do the Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz? You know, I've never done that, Anthony. I know that Dark Side of, what do they call it? Like Dark Side of Oz or something. I know that's supposed to be a thing that like Dark Side of the Moon lines up with Wizard of Oz, but I've never done that before. Paul said I paid $65 a ticket to watch a really, really good Steely Dan cover band called Steelin' Dan. It was a bargain. Hey, that's awesome, man. That sounds like fun. I remember going places. I remember doing things. You guys remember that? Those are good times. Hopefully they'll be back soon. Alright. Stanley Wags says, Money by Pink Floyd is the greatest song to just lay down on the floor in the middle of 4 speakers. Feeling the music pass through your body is amazing. Hell yes it is. I've got a lot of speakers in this house. I miss that shit too, man, Rich. I miss it a lot. Live music was my jam. I really hope that I can get good enough with my buddy to get a band together, and once people do live things again, I can actually go perform some shows. That would be a blast. Something I've never done before with on the bass at least. It could be a lot of fun. But yeah, I've got enough speakers in this house to really tear it down the walls. So every once in a while, I'll just turn it up real loud and have a party. And Pink Floyd's Money is a great song to do it with for sure. Especially because it has that vibration. Wah! That's a lot of fun. Paul has a great question about amplifiers. Yeah, soon hopefully we can meet up with large groups again, Anthony. So Paul asked tube versus solid state amp, and Anthony says, silly question, tube. Not as silly as you might think. I think, yeah. So Rich is getting where I was gonna go, which is that solid state tubes or solid state amplifiers have gotten a lot better recently because the processing has gotten so much better. I think the tube amps have the warmer sound. They have a more lifelike, organic sound. But I'll also say that's not always right for every kind of music. There are some kinds of music where the sharp rigidity of a solid state for me actually works better. It's depending on what I'm trying to do. But I would say typically I do like a lot of the tube amps. Ridge says he's got the Katana 100 MK2 right here. Boss makes some nice amps. Yeah, I used to be a lot more.
You hit a new niche.
Yeah, I used to be a lot more into amplifiers and home audio equipment than I am currently. Mainly because a lot of my hobby money has diverted to whiskey away from tube amps.
Yeah,
and things
remember
like
when
that.
you bought the machine?
Oh yeah, I still got the machine. I'm still working with that. King Crimson. Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. John Barleycorn. Absolutely. John Barleycorn Must Die. Oh yeah, those are good songs, Wag, for sure. You feeling lost?
Pretty much.
My nose is itchy. I'm all itchy now. What happened?
I don't know. I gave you a clementine and some goldfish. It's like the epitome of a child's meal.
All that lemon meat.
Nate, I'm right there with you, Bo. Right there with you.
I love this. I'm doing a blind flight with 5 friends. Winner gets a blood oath. It's the only way to meet up. I would love... Cocaine is not your friend, Paul says. Nope. I love that idea, Bourbon Baller. That's an awesome thing to do, is get together, meet up, and just taste things, and then the winner get something cool. By Army Girl by Aqua.
I tried to play that song the last time we had friends over. We do socially distant like bourbon tasting, which is obviously not my jam. But I did try to play that song as Kyle came out of the bathroom, and I got
girl. Yeah,
reprimanded.
Oh man.
Y'all wouldn't even let me get to the chorus.
Oh, your brother stole it for his studio. I mean, I get it. I don't have a good bass amp right now. I'm just running it through the computer for recording purposes, which is good enough to be able to hear what I'm doing, but, you know, it doesn't sound quite right. Yeah, Nate really loves Kygo. I am really curious about the Blood Oath Pact 7. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I'm very interested in it because...
It's elastic.
There you go. But Blood Oath Pact 6, I thought was interesting. I liked it better than the 5. I don't remember how I felt about the 4. I did a video where I did 4, 5, and 6. That's out on my channel somewhere. You can check it out and remind me what I thought about them, because I don't remember.
I mean, he would choose Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I gotta go Jimi Hendrix. Hendrix is just so influential in my life. I mean, he's the reason I own this red Strat. He was just the one who spoke to me very young, and you cannot get over that.
Bourbon Baller, your volume is low.
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh, constant problems.
I mean, I think he's talking about... I don't think he's talking about the stream.
Oh.
I think he's talking about my volume being low if I'm not using a good amplifier.
Oh.
Although he could be talking about the stream. I don't know. Yeah, Machine Gun. That is a great track. The 23-minute, like, tour of duty through Vietnam, where he's, like, making it sound like there are bullets whizzing past you and napalm hitting the ground. Yeah, the understanding that Jimi Hendrix had of the space in which an amplifier operates and his guitar can manipulate through it, it's just unlike anything I've ever seen. It's just incredible. I've watched a video of him like in the studio up next to the amp with his guitar, like playing with where it positioned and how that affected the sounds, and just like absorbing it. Top 3 craft distilleries for you. Go. Starlight. Probably Old 55. Do we have... I mean, if I'm going Indiana craft, and I think I am. If I'm going Indiana craft, I'm probably going Starlight, Old 55, and maybe West Fork. Maybe West Fork.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably your top 3.
Top 2 major distillers. Well, if you base it on what I've got here, then you'd have to say Buffalo Trace and Heaven Hill. So since I missed the beginning of the stream, how completely hammered was Yolanda last week?
I was going to ignore that
Yeah.
and actually have Nate remove it.
Sorry.
It's
She
fine.
didn't feel well, so we moved on. Yeah, MGP. That's a funny answer, Rich. What do y'all think of MGP buying Luxco? I think it's really good for the industry, honestly, because Luxco's been sourcing for a long time, and MGP's been providing stuff to be sourced for a long time. So, I think it's going to be good. We're going to get some better stuff, frankly, coming out of Luxco, because I felt like Luxco's super hit or miss, but if they're working with the people at MGP, I think it's going to be good. Akeem said the West Fork Distillery in Westfield is going to be 5 minutes from his house. I'll be there. I may have to meet you there, Akeem. More allocations. Yeah, who doesn't want more allocations, am I right? What are we doing? What's up, Justin? Justin Gibson in the chat. How you doing, man?
game?
I love New Riff, but New Riff is in a tough place because New Riff, I have a hard time calling New Riff a big distillery, a major distillery, or a craft distillery. They fit in this kind of weird middle ground, you know, because they're big enough that I don't think of them as craft, even though they might actually be. Oh, I'm sure they've got some crazy barrels held back at MGP, Rich. I really would love to know what those look like. I haven't seen any, you know, any hints on what that is, but, you know, I know they've got some great stuff. New Riff will start releasing older stuff soon. I don't know if they're going to distill at Lux Row anymore. I can't imagine they would. Why would they? They got a humongous better distiller that they're working with now. But
were you simply just answering for Indiana? I think that was just him talking about his favorite craft.
With the craft, I was sticking with Indiana. There are other places doing craft that are really good. Balcones comes to mind. Although they typically, for me, go more into like American malt, single malt, and Scotch. They do make bourbon, but a lot of their products remind me more of a Scotch product. And so I think about them when I think about American sourced whiskey, or American craft whiskey in the terms of single malts. I'm glad you liked the pour over video, Justin. I've got a lot more coffee content coming in the future for sure. Akeem said he used to work for Indiana AG. I had a bunch of cases down where MGP is. That place is a straight up factory. Yeah, it is humongous. One of the biggest distilleries in the world, actually. Best mixed bourbon whiskey in your opinion? Interesting. So maybe a point of clarification.
Not that barrel. Or not that.
No. Maybe a point of clarification, Anthony. What do you mean by mixed bourbon whiskey? Do you mean like a blend as opposed to single barrel? I'm not sure I know what you mean, but I'm curious.
Or do you mean like a mixed cocktail? I mean, I don't think he does, but.
Yeah. What do you mean? Yes, blend or batch. Best blend. So, you know, the art of blending is something that's meaningfully different than making just good single barrel whiskey. Oh, yeah.
St. George.
Yeah, St. George makes a hella good gin. Actually, Rabbit Hole, a whiskey distillery in Louisville, they make a really mean gin as well that's aged in rye barrels. That's definitely worth checking out. If you're a gin guy, that Rabbit Hole gin, I can't speak highly enough of it.
Genevieve. If you can get your hands on Genevieve.
Yeah, there's some great stuff coming out of the higher end stuff from Genevieve is really good. From Bowles is the company.
Bowls.
Now they make pretty cheap stuff as well. Bowles makes some pretty cheap mixer Genevieves, but I have a barrel aged Genevieve. No, a barrel aged Genevieve that's just really really solid. The best blend though, I mean, I think I've probably just got to go with just regular Buffalo Trace. Because, like, it's... When I'm thinking of the best mixed bourbon, for some reason, in my mind, I think big brands because I think about how hard it is to make a consistent product when you're blending thousands and thousands of barrels and doing them in different batches. That's incredibly impressive. I mean, I could definitely say, like Trevor says in the chat, Old Carter's the best blenders. There are some small people making amazing blends that I really enjoy, but there's something about a big company making something on the scale of Buffalo Trace that I like as much as Buffalo Trace. That's just really impressive. It's my favorite, like, somewhat budget pour, and they make it in huge quantities, and it's still really fantastic. Anthony says he's surprised to not hear anything about Smoke Wagon. Yeah, Bardstown's definitely a very good blender. Shout out the world's top whiskey taster who's made some really good blends with them as well. ADHD whiskey. Anthony said he's surprised to not hear Smoke Wagon. Smoke Wagon's hard to get here in Indiana. They don't distribute it here, so I've only tasted it a couple of times. I think if I could get it more regularly, I might jump up my list.
Uh-huh. Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Thanks.
Yeah. And she says she doesn't watch porn.
I don't.
Defensive.
I haven't in a really long time.
Yeah, the dude, the Smoke Wagon guy, he is pretty funny. They have a great Instagram account, no question. No question about that. Well, you know, it's kind of been going...
See, I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're not alone, baby. I will say, once we got the kinks worked out... Once we got the kinks worked out, yeah, Bardstown Bourbon Company is BBC. We also know it means other things. I wish we had Smoke Wagon too, Bourbon Baller. My new favorite daily drinker is Wild Turkey 101 Rye. Stanley, that is a freaking solid pour. I'm a big fan of the Wild Turkey 101 Rye as well. Have you had the Rare Breed Rye? Because if you haven't, get it. It's fantastic. I feel like you have, though. I feel like I heard you talk about it or something. But I could be just misremembering.
In the blind flight, he had Wild Turkey 101 the bourbon, and he was massively surprised by it.
I was very surprised, and it was very good. I really liked it. That was the one, was my canoe trip, I believe. The Wild Turkey 101 was a relaxing afternoon of me.
With blueberries.
With blueberries, with me. Somebody moving me along in a canoe. I don't know if we had 101 Rye on our flight, Nate. I'm not certain. But I'll tell you what, this stream has gone pretty well with this open source streaming entity that I'm using instead of paying for some other company. I've got a couple problems with it that we'll have to work out, but I think those kinks can mostly be worked out. It's been consistent. It looks like it's been showing up pretty well. It looks good from our angle, even if it's a bit lagged. It's not super terribly lagged.
Aside from you being a ghost, but yes.
But that's my problem. I screwed that up. Akeem just got it one of these years. Akeem, the 24-year-old Heaven Hill from Single Cast Nation. I just got a... yeah, I really am glowing. I know.
He was referred to as Casper earlier.
Yeah. Akeem, I actually got one of those bottles I split with a friend as well, so I'm going to have a 375 of the 24-year-old Heaven Hill as well. I'm excited about that one for sure.
We should end the stream soon.
You should always work out your kinks. I agree.
Oh, man.
She said, yes, I have Rare Breed Bourbon and Rye and 101 Bourbon and Rye. Rye 101 is my winner. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I've got to get the... See, when I lean back, it's a little better.
Yeah, I think you're just too close to the...
I'm still terribly pale.
You're just too close to the softbox.
I look so white.
Here, let's swap sides and see if that fixes it. Because originally you wanted us to swap sides.
Do you like my pants? These are sexy, right? She just wanted the nice chair.
I mean, even I'm washed out over here. Not nearly as bad as your pasty ass, but also I literally can't help you with the comments because I can't see them.
Yeah, I know. That. You know what I've been doing? I've been having to go like, what do the comments say? Yeah, Bourbon Baller, I've never had Elijah Craig 23. Maybe you could help me with that. I would love to try it. Oh, but I can watch my CPU usage over here. It's only using 5.2%. I must be encoding some interesting other way. That's a lot lower than I expected.
We need to fix that light.
I think if we change the
Our words
exposure, if you change the exposure, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Mash and Drum does have a bottle. I think you're right, Trev, of 23. I just haven't tried it yet. Thanks, Justin. He said, all ghost jokes aside, you both look great.
I always look sexy.
There you go. Anthony's winning brownie points.
It's because Nate said now Kyle looks sexy.
Yeah. I just look alive now. Yes, I look slightly less cadaverish. It really does. It really is befitting.
I mean, I'm pretty cadavery over here.
This smells like a old fashioned now.
Well, of course it does. It's clementine peel with your spit.
Good thing I'm drinking cheap whiskey. That's all I have to say.
What are you drinking?
This is a blend.
And by
Speaking of blend,
drinking, he means tasting.
I mean tasting. This is a blend that I've made, a custom blend of a bunch of cheap bottled and bond nonsense. Yeah, we need to hear your radio voice now.
I don't think I have a radio voice.
We'll try.
What do I need to? What should I say?
Tell them the next song you're gonna play, and that thanks for tuning in or something.
Song names.
Just say something into the microphone real close and sexy like.
I don't think I.
Just.
I don't think I can do that.
You
guys.
Just try it. Looking for every excuse you can to not do it. Just go for it.
And up next we have Kyle, the drink pro.
There you go. It sounded more like a level completed voice, but that's fine. Level completed.
You know what? I think I sounded
Self-destruction sequence initiated.
It sounds like the robot in Portal.
Yes, it does. We have lots of cake for you when you finish.
And up next we have Kyle, the drink pro. Is that better?
Oh yeah. They call me the drink pro, baby, because I'm drinking good. Now I'm just like bad Elvis.
I mean, you're bad Elvis like 90% of the time.
Well, thank you very much. I got me a little bit of whiskey I'm gonna sip while I'm sitting here in Nashville and shaking my hips. Huh.
You already spilled a whole bunch of water shaking your hips once tonight. Maybe you should keep the hips on the DL.
The hips don't lie.
You're not Shakira.
I think that's what Shakira said. Smash it.
We always end up doing impressions of some kind.
That's just like
Is that just our thing?
Well,
is that our signature?
Trevor
stream?
said the accents are always a good time. I can't help it. Like and she can attest to this. If you leave me alone in a room,
entertain himself.
I will start talking to no one about nothing, and I'll start making voices, and I'll start singing songs.
Oh yeah, he has whole Broadway musicals written about doing the dishes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wrote a whole whole musical about the dog at one point.
Every day of your life. You were singing to her earlier. Kill the customer blend.
That's what this is for sure.
Hips on the DL.
Akeem, I've been wanting to get into cognac and Armagnac.
Armagnac. Armagnac.
Armagnac.
Armagnac. It's like Boston.
Yeah, give me a bit of Armagnac.
I can't.
Why are we
I don't know.
Why are we talking like this? Don't know what voice this is.
I don't know what voice you're using either.
Armagnac.
Armagnac.
Yak. Yeah, cognac and Armagnac. I've had some really solid ones that I really liked. I want to do some more. Clam chowder. Boston.
Hey, I'm walking here.
I don't have a very good Boston accent.
No, Boston's really hard because it's like Jersey mixed with like New Englander.
Boston is just... Somebody said this a couple days ago. I think it's a brilliant observation. Like, if you talk like a toddler and then you get older and you never stop talking with those ways of speaking, it's very Boston-y. Like toddlers, they don't say the ends of their words. Like, ka! Like, that's... Yeah, water! Like, that's how a 3-year-old would say water. Water! I need water!
Water. Hey, mate. Give me some water.
I bought some Armagnac. Hey, Rich, did you buy that, like, 29-year-old or whatever it was Armagnac from Big Red? I really thought about buying that, but I decided not to.
Bye, Stanley.
Bye, Stan. Enjoy the live with the West Coast peeps. Cheers.
Don't forget we have to get up early tomorrow.
Oh, shoot. We do have to get up early tomorrow, and it's after 11.
Yeah. I have a doctor's appointment.
I have to get up even before that. I got to be at work at 7 a.m. All right. Well, we can do that, Rich. Let's do that. We can do that sample swap for sure, my man. That sounds good. Shoot me a private message either on my socials or on my email, however you want to. Some of the wrenches, if somebody can throw in my email in the chat, that'd be helpful.
What is Stanley's handle so we can shout him out and have everyone go over to him since we're getting ready to end?
I think his is _mashbill on Instagram.
Sorry, Justin. Sweet dreams, kids.
Yeah, that was kind of how I was too, Akeem, but I'm glad Rich picked it up. All right, it was good to meet you too, Anthony. I hope you will join on another stream. I hope you will all join on another stream. We're going to keep doing this. We'll make it happen. In the meantime, you guys keep drinking like professionals. Cheers.
I don't have a drink.
That's usually how I end this thing, but now I have to figure out how to actually end this thing because new system. So, yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Good night, everybody.